Santa Claus is coming to town, and that means everybody's gonna die.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. Well, hello there, soulmates. My name's Soulkeeper.
And I'm Astrid.
And we just watched Santa's Sleigh.
S-L-A-Y.
Yes, with Bill Goldberg as Santa Claus, the pro wrestler from WCW and WWF. Yeah, that movie. Anyway, yeah, I mean, this one was really fun. This was so much more fun than Saving Christmas with Kirk Cameron.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what's nuts is that these movies were the exact same length.
Yes, and this one did so much more with it.
Yeah, like it didn't feel like it was trying just to make its movie fit a 70-minute deadline. And I think this was direct to DVD anyway, so...
Was it really?
I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, it was released on DVD in the U.S. by Lionsgate on December 20th, 2005.
Ah.
And it was released in Canada that same day by Maple Pictures.
Of course, that's the Canadian film name.
Why did they just go like... There's probably already a Maple Leaf Pictures. What am I saying? I mean, that's like the most obvious possible choice you could call your Canadian production company.
Maple everything.
Maple. It's either maple or moose over there. Jesus.
True, though.
Come on, Canada. Don't make yourself such an easy target.
I'm not sure Americans have room to talk with all our eagle crap.
Yeah, I mean...
Stars and stripes nonsense.
Oh, come on. Over there in Canada, they put their maple leaf on everything. They even put their maple leaf on the frickin' McDonald's arches.
Yeah, that was funny. I thought you were bullshitting me about that.
I was not. The maple leaf is everywhere. They have no room to bitch about our nationalism because they put that fucking maple leaf on everything.
Yeah.
At least we don't put our goddamn flag on every single business on the block here.
They don't put the whole flag on it. They just put the maple leaf on.
Yeah, well, we don't put stars or stripes on everything.
Don't we, though?
I mean, we put on a lot of stuff, but them, I think they do more than we do.
All right.
That's my personal observation.
Yeah, I guess they put it on more stuff, but we're more obnoxious about it. To be fair, they might only have those in pine trees.
Yeah.
We've got more variety.
Well, they could bust out a moose every so often.
Yeah, they could.
You can mix it out, put some antlers on there.
I would like to see moose antlers on everything. Just like straight up a picture of Bullwinkle.
I would be down for that.
Yes.
They should make Bullwinkle their mascot over there.
Bullwinkle on the arches.
Over there in Canada.
Yep. I'm down. Make it happen, Canada.
Hell yeah, guys. I mean... Canada, you missed opportunities, guys. Well, enough of all the, the poutine suckers up north of us.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I had to go there. Yeah. I know we got poutine over here now, so I know what you guys are all about.
They apparently laugh that we think poutine is the most Canadian weird food, when apparently they're up there drinking some sort of fishy cocktail.
What?
Like a clam sauce cocktail or something like that. Oh,
God. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Why would you drink that?
I don't know.
I'm not going to drink that. You guys can drink that all by your damn self. Okay, well, enough of ripping on Canada. I mean, for all you Canadian guys out there, I want you to know I love you. Really like it up in Canada. Last time we were up there, we had a great time.
Yeah. We did. They were real nice to us.
Yeah, we were over in Toronto helping out a bud, and boy, people there were just some of the nicest people we ever met. They
thought it was hilarious that I was afraid to leave my purse unattended. They're like, oh yeah, Americans steal things.
Yeah. Apparently one of them found out the hard way when her spouse visited Livonia.
Oh, yeah. That's...
She said. And he did get some stuff stolen, apparently.
Yeah, that's not an entry-level city.
Yeah, you gotta watch yourself around the Metro Detroit area, guys.
That city is on hard mode.
If you're a Canadian coming over here to visit Metro Detroit or some stuff, you better watch yourself.
Yep.
Because people will steal things if you're not careful.
Yes.
Well, anyway, Well, we jumped right into like this movie. Like we say, we had a lot of fun with it. What did you think this movie was going to be when I first told you about it?
I mean, obviously, I thought Santa was going to be killing people, but I didn't think that it would have like the whole Santa is Satan's immaculately conceived child plot point. It was actually way more involved than I thought it would be. I thought it would be a basic slasher, and I thought that like there was going to be the family killing in the beginning and that like one of the kids would survive and then have a vendetta against Santa.
I have to hand it to this movie. They took it and they went as far as they could for what they had to work with.
Yeah.
Because,
I was impressed.
I mean, they really shot for the stars on this one. And obviously they didn't have like the biggest budget in the world, but they made it work.
Yeah, they did.
All things considered. Now, I thought when I saw this, again, I thought that Santa was going to be just bumping off people everywhere, but mostly I thought he was just going to be bumping off like kids around the world.
Oh, God. You thought it was going to be a child slasher flick?
Yeah, I thought it'd be like a child slasher flick, and then he'd just be bumping off kids around the world, and it'd be more of a worldwide affair when he did it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so I was a little disappointed in that regard, but otherwise, I can't complain too much because I really had a lot of fun watching this.
Yeah. I also didn't think it'd take place in Michigan, which I'm convinced it did.
I think you're right, because it said it took place in Hell Township. And Hell Township is, it's a place in Michigan.
In Michigan.
Yeah. So I do believe that it probably did take place in Michigan because, the climate was right. We actually have a Hell Township.
Yeah.
And, we got people who like to shoot guns a lot over here.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that was the most Michigan thing ever.
It absolutely was. Apparently also very Canadian.
One of the main characters' fathers was at multiple gun clubs.
Yeah, which is very accurate around these parts.
Yep.
So, nice attention to detail, guys. Really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Well, what do you say we jump right into what this movie actually was? Santa's Sleigh.
This movie actually was wasting Fran Drescher.
That's the thing about this movie. We're going to get to it very shortly because it happens in the very first scene. It opens on this like big rich house with lots of lights, and they're singing "Joy to the World" on the soundtrack. And then it opens on this family. And the thing that really strikes you about the family is that it's mostly made up of famous actors and actresses.
Yes.
Like, the head of the house is James Caan. James frickin' Caan, from The Godfather and Elf and a bunch of other pictures, man. Yeah, I'm really shocked to see James Caan in this movie. And then Fran Drescher, the nanny, was playing his wife.
Yes.
Again,
I love her.
Again, surprised to see her.
Yep.
And then Chris Kattan, who is kind of like a second stringer, but he's still fairly famous.
Yeah.
And the daughters and the Chris Kattan woman playing Chris Kattan's wife, you don't really know who they are. So, you got three famous actors here in this first scene, and the three famous actors are all Jewish, by the way, which was an interesting choice.
Yes.
I think there was supposed to be some kind of in-joke or something. If you didn't know that they were, you probably wouldn't even think of it while it was happening.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really factor into what happens later in the scene. It just happens to be a little tidbit about the movie.
Yeah.
So, they're all sitting around the table. They're getting ready to eat their Thanksgiving, or not Thanksgiving dinner.
It's the same food.
It might as well be a Thanksgiving dinner because they're eating a turkey, and James Caan prays and says, "Dear God, please don't let this bird taste like shoe like last year."
Yes.
Dried out.
Yes. I think he said something about he thinks it's been defrosting since Thanksgiving.
And he's probably not wrong.
Yeah.
Fran Drescher's character... who are these people anyway? Like, okay.
Did they even get names? I remember her name was Virginia because Santa comes down the chimney and says, "Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus."
Yeah, Fran Drescher is Virginia Mason, and then James Caan is Darren Mason. He doesn't even get a credit during the credits.
Uncredited.
So I think he did this as a favor.
He might have been ashamed to be in it.
He actually might have been. He might have requested that they take his name off this movie.
I'll do it for you because I owe you one, but don't you dare say that I was in this movie.
Yeah. Poor James Caan. Keep in mind, he did Elf like 4 years earlier, so this is kind of like gotta be a blow to his ego.
Yeah.
Doing a movie like this with a pro wrestler that bursts through the chimney.
My brother loves Elf.
I think it's an okay movie. I just don't know what he loves so much about it.
He loves Elf. He specifically loves like the actual Elf character, Will Ferrell's Elf. He's got the costume. He wears it a lot. He's worn it so much he's got to get a new one because the costume is getting real thin in some areas. He's afraid he's going to start getting holes in it.
I'm trying to understand why he loves it so much.
He ran a race in it. I don't know. Because he's fun. He's whimsical. He's quotable.
Okay.
He's a very tall, out of place elf. It's a fish on a water story.
He's a very tall, out of place elf, and he's shorter than your brother is shorter than I am.
I know, but I think he sometimes feels out of place places. I don't know.
All right. Well, I guess I could see that. Okay. I'm not going to write it too long. Elf is fun. I like Elf.
Also, sorry about my voice today, guys. We were helping my brother move into his new house. He's got 2 very fluffy cats that I am very allergic to.
Yeah, she's very wimpy around kitties.
Yes.
Oddly enough, she's okay around Ophelia.
That's because I've been around her for like 5 years. I think I've built up a bit of an immunity to her.
And Ophelia is just so sweet that no one could possibly be allergic to her.
Because I used to have some problems when I'd wake up here in the morning, but not so much anymore.
Yeah, now she's just...
now I'm okay.
Now they're all cuddly together.
Yup.
Aw.
But my brother's cats I don't have really an immunity against, so...
Yes.
And they're at my house right now. Because he didn't want them to get lost on moving day.
Aw. Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, back to this family, guys. Yeah, this is a very catty family. They're... Like, one of the central things happening here is that the guy played by Chris Kattan, whose name is Jason Mason.
What? No wonder he's got problems.
Like, I don't understand. Is he like a brother or some kind of relative?
I hope he wasn't her brother because he was feeling up her vagina.
Okay, I think that he might be related to James Caan's character. I hope.
Yeah.
And that Fran Drescher is related by marriage, I hope.
Yeah, she's definitely married to one of them.
Okay, so, well, Fran Drescher is married to James Caan's character.
Okay.
And Jason Mason is hitting on her.
Yeah.
He even fingers her under the table.
Yes.
Right in front of Darren Mason.
Yes.
Okay.
And the lady, one of the other sisters or whatever, was talking about how she's grateful to have the whole family together for the meal or whatever. So, they're all like related somehow.
Yeah, they're all related. And I think, and what's even more interesting is that Chris Kattan here, his character fingers the nanny right in front of the girl playing his wife. And she prays for a faithful husband.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes you wonder, why is she still here if he's doing it right in front of her and she knows about what he does?
Was she the one who was grateful for their lifestyle? Like their level of income? And
she's related to the other woman at the head of the table, not the daughters.
Okay. I'm going to say, because if so, then it's just, obviously it's a money thing, but I don't know. Yeah. Maybe she's just afraid of change.
Maybe. I don't know. Well... That happens, and of course, Darren threatens him to put a fork in his eye because obviously cheating on him or fingering his wife right in front of him doesn't sit well.
Yes.
And Virginia says to him that it's called foreplay, something you should know something about.
Yes, they were making sex jokes at the table.
Right in front of the kids. Right in front of everybody.
Yep.
This is the caliber of family we're dealing with here.
Yes. Also, if this had been a good movie, then Santa would have put a fork in someone's eye.
Yeah,
he came down the chimney, but he didn't.
Because
it's not a good movie.
If there was any competent level of screenwriting here, he would have stuck a fork in Jason Mason's eye when he came down, just as a little bit of poetic justice.
Yes.
Either a fork in his eye or a fork in Darren's eye.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Either one would have been fine.
Yeah.
Instead, we got forks in the hands.
At one point, they go through what all the things they're thankful for and all that stuff. And then one of the daughters of Virginia and Darren They say they're thankful that they're not. They thank God for not being poor or Samoan, they say.
They got racist.
Which is, I'm like
random.
It was super random. And
like, where do they live? Do they even live around a lot of Samoan people? What is their familiarity with them?
It just seems like the weirdest thing to just throw in there for absolutely no reason. Yeah. And even Jason looks at his wife and says, he mouths, "Why Samoan?" Right. And she says, "Shh."
Yeah. What?
And she just shrugs and says, "I don't know."
It was uncomfortable.
Yeah, so it's just there for like no reason. It's uncomfortable. It's
not the only uncomfortable scene in this movie.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of those. I wouldn't even call it funny. It's just out of the blue. Yeah. There's no setup. It's no punchline or anything. It's just, oh, hey, glad I'm not Samoan. Hardy, har, har, har.
Right? And it's like, excuse the shit out of me.
I mean, The Rock's Samoan. How am I? I'd be glad to be Samoan if I look like The Rock, man. Right? Let's be real. The Rock's a badass. He's jacked. Yeah. He's like 6'5". He's huge.
Yep. I'd lick his bald head.
Dude, why would you say that?
Because he's sexy.
You're walking home tonight.
Oh, I drove here.
I'm taking the car. Oh. You don't get it back now.
Oh, man.
Yep. So, like, during their meal, they start to cut into the turkey and all that good stuff. By the way, there's a dog that's just hopping around here. Very fluffy little toy.
Oh, yeah. Like a Pomeranian, I think it was.
Yeah, it's got its own little bed with 4 very pointy, sharp posts, which kind of foreshadow that one of them is going to get used in a couple of minutes.
Yes. That they didn't shit the bed on. Yes. Yeah, the dog had a tiny little bed that looked like a little tiny person bed. He was very cute, and I believe his name was Scribbles.
His name was Scribbles. So, of course, dog has to, get his own just desserts.
He didn't deserve it. It's not just. It's unjust desserts.
Santa crashes through the chimney now. Like, he Kool-Aid Mans through it. Yes. Oh, yeah. Power enabled. And then, right as he pops through there, Virginia turns around and says, "Santa?"
Oh, yeah, with a classic Fran Drescher facial expression.
And what even the fuck? There's like a donkey noise that accompanies her. Like, why did they do that?
I don't know. I wonder if that was the bison on the roof.
I don't know. It was very awkward and unclear. And I'm not sure why they had that sound effect behind Fran Drescher saying, "Santa?"
I don't know. I don't know.
But anyway, Santa, looking very surly, tosses his Viking cap onto the coat rack nearby the door. And then he says, "Yes, Virginia.
There is a Santa Claus."
And then right then, cue the music.
Yeah, I think they were doing the dance of the sugar plum fairies.
Yeah, I think so. Dance of the sugar plum fairies. They cue that.
Like that happy, joyful music.
Something like that. There it is.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay. So, yeah, he kicks the dog right after that. Dog goes flying through the air and hits the fan and just spins around, comes back,
crashes some bricks off the chimney.
Yeah, just for a little insult to injury to that poor puppy.
That poor baby. At least you could tell they used a fake dog.
So he goes through there then and he just slays the family.
Oh yeah, one by one.
Yeah, like what is it? The first thing he does is he gets up on the table and just like rolls across it and sticks a couple of carving forks into Darren's hands and impales him on the table. Yes. So he can't move.
And then leaves him for last.
Yeah, and then he drinks a bunch of wine.
Yes. And gets right out of the bottle.
Right out of the bottle, and then he spits it out at Fran Drescher while using a lighter and lights her hair on fire.
Yes, that was awful to watch.
And then he takes...
Gave me some Candyman flashbacks.
Yeah. And then, like, Chris Kattan, he's acting all tough and he's, like, doing all these karate moves and whatnot, like a real asshole.
Oh, yeah.
And Santa Claus, without even moving from his spot on the table, just kicks him and he goes flying through the air and crashes into this fine china nearby.
Yeah, which I don't understand how that killed him unless did it break his neck? And then why didn't they make an audible neck breaking sound?
Because he just crashed into a bunch of glass and it cut him up. And I think one went into, like, his carotid or something.
Okay.
I mean,
because that was unclear to me as a death scene.
In the real world, when you go crashing through a bunch of glass like that, it's not gonna end well.
Well, yeah, it's not gonna end well, but that doesn't mean that you die.
Usually, yeah. A bunch of glass like that, it's gonna kill you probably.
I know people who have gone through glass. I know a few people who have gone through glass.
Well, they've gotten lucky then.
I know a few people who've gone through glass and walked away. I don't know anybody who's gone through glass and died.
Fair enough.
Then again, I guess, they wouldn't be telling me if they did.
But anyway, one of the daughters faints, falls back onto the dog bed and gets impaled through the neck.
Yeah, that was gross.
That was totally metal. She's bleeding everywhere. It was badass.
That was probably the single goriest part of the movie.
Probably. This entire part is like the most violent part in the entire movie.
Yeah, his other kill scenes aren't really gory.
Yeah, it makes me feel like they blew their entire wad on this one scene just to hook our interest.
Yes, that sounds like something this movie would do.
So then he takes Fran Drescher and dunks her head into
the eggnog.
Yeah, like all of her hair is burned away. Her scalp is charred.
Yes.
Santa dunks her head in the eggnog and drowns her in that.
Yeah, that was gross.
And then he goes after one of the wife of the one guy, and she says, "Santa, I've been good."
Oh yeah, because she thinks that the whole thing is about the naughty and nice list.
Yeah, she thinks that they've just all been naughty. And to be fair, at some points during the movie, Santa just does look at people and say, "Naughty."
Yeah, he does.
As though he's discriminating between who's been naughty or nice.
Yes.
When he's very obviously not.
Yeah, he's just killing everyone.
Yeah. This movie really isn't that clever. It doesn't operate on a level of, this year Santa's going to kill all the naughty ones. No, he's just killing everybody.
Yes.
Or at least everybody in a very specific location, because apparently he's not going around the world to deal out murder.
Yeah, no, I guess he's not at all concerned about that this year. Mm-hmm. He doesn't seem to be, at least.
So, he takes he breaks a leg off the table and bashes that woman's head in with one shot. Like, you could just see her head just busted open when she falls on the floor. And she's dead in one hit. And the one daughter tries to run away, tries to run toward the door, but Santa is one step ahead of her. He takes the star off the tree and throws it like a
ninja star.
Yeah, like a ninja star, I guess you call it a shuriken or something. Yeah, he throws that and it hits her in the back, nails her, kills her. She drops.
Yes.
And then Santa realizes he's got unfinished business with the head of the household. So he goes back over to Darren, who's trying to get the forks out of his hands with his mouth.
Oh, yeah, that was hilarious.
Like he's just slobbering all over him.
He's just grabbing the end, trying to pull it with his teeth. That was genuinely funny.
And Santa, when Santa approaches, he looks at Santa and goes, "Now listen here, you fat." He starts insulting Santa, and before he can, Santa breaks off a turkey leg and jams it in his mouth.
Yeah, that was not how I was expecting him to die.
It was a very strange death. Not the death you would picture for a guy like this. You would have pictured something a little bit more elaborate, a little bigger maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, Santa just crams that turkey leg right in there, jams it all the way in. And once he's got it all the way in there, James Caan's just sitting there all wide-eyed with his mouth stuffed. And Santa bashes his head on the table and just like, I assume breaks his neck or something.
Oh, I thought it was that the bone goes like through the back of his head.
I never really saw anything like that. Or maybe it
just goes down his throat and chokes him.
Yeah, I think he just got choked too much or something. It might have knocked him out too from getting hit on the table. Yeah. So that's like the opening sequence, guys. Then we go straight to the title sequence. It's got this cool title sequence where it shows a bunch of pages from the Book of Claws.
It did have a cool title sequence.
Yeah. Like it shows just Santa's sleigh in colorful Christmas colors, and then a little picture of Santa Claus right above that. Goes into the sequence with all the proper credits, and then we get pictures from the Book of Claws recounting how the angel tricked Santa into becoming good for 1,000 years.
Yes.
And it was pretty good. It told a pretty complete story and pictures, and throughout the entire thing, Santa does not look like the friendly poster boy Coca-Cola that we all knew and love.
He did not.
He looks very angry throughout the whole thing.
Yes, very sinister Santa Claus.
Like he's doing all the nice things that we associate with Santa Claus, but he does not look happy doing it. He hates it.
Yeah, no, he's only doing it out of obligation.
So after that, we go to the Kosher Deli in Hell Township.
Heaven Sent. Scent.
Absolutely. So there's this kid there. Very tall kid whose name is...
He was tall.
Nicholas Yulson.
Tall as hell.
He's like 6'3" or something.
Get it? Tall as hell.
Oh, that was clever.
Because he lives in hell.
Yeah. Kid's about as tall as Bill Goldberg is.
Oh, Bill Goldberg is a tall fucker.
He's a pro wrestler, so yeah, he's a big dude.
He's just a big beefcake.
Yeah, Bill Goldberg is huge. He's like 6'3" and like 250 or 300 pounds.
Oh, wow. Oh.
I know, he's huge. So we go to this kosher deli, and this kid is waiting on this old lady who is absolutely just foul-tempered and foul-mouthed.
She was mad about the price. She didn't want to pay more than $4.50 for her roast beef sandwich. Didn't want any of that lean crap. Was like, oh, you're trying to be funny, you little asshole.
She called him a little shit.
Little shit, you're just like your grandpa.
Tell him to put up some Christmas decorations.
Right?
It's Christmas.
And then the deli owner comes out and, gives her sandwich and tells her happy holidays. And she's like, don't you start that politically correct crap with me. It's Christmas. Wish me a Merry Christmas. So he's like, fine, Merry Christmas. And
thank you. And go fuck yourself.
Fuck yourself. Yeah. What's up with this lady? Why is she so mad?
He just gave her a discount on the price of 25 cents.
Yep.
He wished her a Merry Christmas like she wanted. Why is she coming to the kosher deli if she doesn't like the way he does things?
Yeah, why is she going in so hot everywhere?
Mind you, the owner of the kosher deli here, Mr. Green, is a very nice man.
He's very nice.
He's the nicest character in the whole movie.
Yep.
He doesn't deserve anything he gets.
He does not.
And he gets nothing but bullshit.
Yep. Yep.
And I mean, $4.50 for a sandwich, or even $4.75. That's not a bad price for a roast beef sandwich,
right? Yeah, for like a fresh cut roast beef slices, and they make it right in front of you.
Yeah, I mean,
and it was like a long sub. It wasn't like a small sandwich.
Yeah, it was like a hoagie.
Yeah, you got some to take with you later.
This wasn't cheap or anything. This was a good sandwich he was giving you,
right?
Yeah, I dig that deal. It's a good deal.
Yeah.
Give me a roast beef sandwich at kosher deli. Yum. I'm all over that. Anyway, yeah, this lady is a real pain in the ass. She even calls the girl Mary a fucking whore on the way out.
Oh, yeah, she did. She's like, wow, she's nice.
Yeah, like completely unprovoked. And this girl's just dressed. She's not dressed like in anything revealing or anything. She's just dressed in jeans and
yeah, she's dressed like it's winter.
She's dressed in her work clothes. She's wearing jeans and an apron and a shirt and everything. She's not dressed in anything that would make anyone ever say that in a rational world.
Right.
But she calls her a fucking whore anyway for no reason.
Yep. It was bad. In the next scene, we see her again.
Yeah, she's driving and she's swerving all over the goddamn road.
And smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, like she can't do the two things at the same time. She probably can't see 4 feet in front of her, and that's why she's swerving so damn much.
Oh no, she was hunched down like at the level of the steering wheel. Her top of her head went to the top of the steering wheel.
Like, does she realize she can raise the seat of her car? I'm not sure she does.
I don't think she knows that.
Yeah.
And if you tried to tell her, she'd probably tell you to go fuck yourself.
And she'd probably call you a fucking whore, too.
Yeah. Yep.
And she'd probably demand you wish her a Merry Christmas anyway.
Yes.
This is the kind of woman who watches Fox News and hangs out on fascist Twitter.
This old lady wouldn't know what Twitter is.
Yeah, I mean, she could probably figure it out. She'd
hang out on fascist Reddit, which is to say, Reddit.
Oh! Suck it, Reddit.
So Santa's riding up behind her in his sleigh, just pulled by an enormous fucking bison.
Yeah, like there's not reindeer here. It's just pulled by one big ass bison.
Just an absolute hell beast.
Woo! And it is making noises. And, you know, when Santa pulls up to her, he honks.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a horn, like really built into his sleigh, like a bullhorn.
Yeah. Yeah, and it blew like, yeah, like a foghorn.
Yeah.
Or like one of those old longhorns.
And then he shouts, "Move, bitch! Get out of the way!"
Right?
Yeah, he quoted a rap song, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, that happened.
And then I think she flips him off.
Yeah, she flips him off and tells him to go fuck himself.
Yep. And then guess how he responds?
Why, if you responded, he speeds up and hits her car and drives her off the road.
So hard that she flips over and catches fire.
Yeah, I mean, if the car flips over, obviously it's got to catch fire, dude.
Well, it probably doesn't help that she had a lit cigarette.
Yeah, that'll probably speed things along. Still, it probably shouldn't have happened that fast.
No, it shouldn't have.
But yeah, he rammed the back of her car and it just sent her careening off the road.
Yep.
She hit like this snow embankment and just went flying through the air and flipped.
Yep, and keep in mind, he didn't ram her with his sleigh. He rammed her with his bison.
Bison did all the work. That bison is like a good bison. That's a good pet he's got there.
Right? Yeah, those are some serious horns.
That bison does not fuck around.
Yep.
And we will find out a little bit more about that bison pretty shortly.
Yes. Oh, and he's just riding along the road right now. Like you can see the sparks coming up from the sled.
Yeah, that's the
runners.
funny. It's so funny because the sparks are just shooting up from the rails on his sleigh as he's riding along. Like,
right?
Why isn't he flying?
Yeah, I was like, can this bison not fly? Why wouldn't you pick a flying hell beast?
He can fly. He can fly this sleigh. This is a flying bison. We see him fly later in the movie. Why is he staying behind this woman driving this car?
I don't know.
Why? It's one of those inconsistencies. You wonder it's entertaining, but what the fuck?
Yes. Because you're slowing down. You're making things harder on that bison by making him have to drag it along with the friction of the road.
Duh. Oops. Well, anyway, it was fun, but it was kind of dumb too.
I'm not done yet. It would have been faster if he'd at least been off the road and running it through the snow. What the hell?
You know the way a sleigh is supposed to run?
Yeah, these are the little things that make it not a good movie.
Not on pavement.
Yes.
Duh.
Plowed pavement. Also, this is apparently the one place in Michigan where the roads are well plowed.
Yeah. In reality, the roads would be shit.
Yes, the roads wouldn't be plowed. They'd be covered in potholes. His sleigh would have got stuck in a pothole and Santa would have gone flying through the air.
Reality check, guys. Really, if this had been a very realistic depiction, those roads would have been just covered with snow.
Yes.
Like thick, packed snow. Very sturdy, very hard.
Yes.
And he probably would have been slipping and sliding all over the place.
Yes.
Because we don't really have enough salt to go around here anymore because there was a big theft a few years back.
Yes.
And the theft really impacted like the entire state.
Yeah, because I think they stole like half the supply or something.
Yeah,
like
they stole like
hundreds of pounds of salt.
Yeah, just an absolute utter shitload of salt. And ever since then, the roads have never been properly salted, so the roads have always been shit here for years now.
Yep.
And that's just the way it is. And again, entertaining, but realistic depiction? No, not even close, guys.
Nope.
So, we go back to the deli, and Mr. Green, being the nice man that he is, gives his employees a couple of presents. Mary and Joseph. Or not Joseph, but Nicholas.
Yes, this guy doesn't even celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
He gives them Christmas presents. And apparently they're like, oh, this is so nice. Like, it'll go great with what you got me last year. So he does this every year.
Yeah, so he's probably this kind of guy who kind of enjoys the holidays anyway, enjoys celebrating with all the people around him.
Yep.
Even though it's not really, a holiday that he probably celebrates personally.
Yes, because after they leave, he starts putting up like a menorah and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he probably celebrates Hanukkah.
Yes.
Which he has every right to do.
Yep.
So he gives a snow globe from Wisconsin to Mary because he's been giving her snow globes for years now, it looks like.
Yes, with apparently themed as the different states.
Yes, and I mean it's a nice little gift.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I like snow globes, and I don't know if she appreciates it, but it's still a nice gift.
She at least had the good sense to be polite about it.
Yeah, she doesn't have to like it, but he went out of his way to go get it.
Yes, and she thanks him and smiles and like at least feigns interest.
Yeah,
because she was raised polite,
which is good. And then he gives Nicholas a clock that shows all the time zones throughout the entire world.
Yes,
and it's actually a really impressive gift.
Yeah, it was cool.
It's, I mean, you're not going to jump for joy when you get it, but actually it's pretty useful.
Yeah.
So, he gets the gifts. They're both very thankful, and they thank Mr. Green. He tells him to get out of there and wishes him, hey, Merry Christmas, all that good stuff.
Yeah, like, oh, it's Christmas Eve. Get out of here. Go home, see your families.
Yeah, which is, again, Mr. Green is like the nicest guy in the fucking world.
Yes, he's a very nice man.
There's absolutely nothing to hate about him.
Yes.
He's not... And mind you, Mr. Green is played by another famous actor. He's a very famous character actor named Saul Rubinick.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him in a lot of stuff.
He played the lawyer that was engaged to Daphne on Frasier. And he played like a collector who was trying to buy, I think, Data on Star Trek. He didn't buy Data. He more like stole Data and kept him prisoner. Yeah. Which, funny enough, just a little bit of trivia on that one. He originally replaced an actor played by another actor. He replaced an actor that was originally in the role, but the actor made a suicide attempt while he was filming for the part.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was. I don't remember his name right now, but you can look it up if you want to. He's played by this actor who had dwarfism, and he was a very popular actor with dwarfism at the time. And I think later that year, he actually did commit suicide.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brutal.
British actor with dwarfism. Can't remember his name right now, but you can find him pretty easily.
Okay.
Yeah, so Saul Rubinick, he came in very last minute to fill that part because the guy had to get some psychological help and all that.
Yes.
And I think he did a bang up job on that part on that show. He was perfect.
Chef's kiss. You used it properly.
Yeah,
good for you.
I got nothing but love for Saul. Saul's a great actor.
Uh-huh. That's fair. I like him. I've liked him in everything I've seen him in.
That's because he's great.
Yeah.
he's entertaining. He's nice and jovial when he needs to be. He's sinister when he has to be too. He's got a broad range. He's a great actor.
Yes.
Anyway, Saul's better in this movie, but anyway, let's go on. Let's move past it.
Yeah, I wish she was in more of this movie. Oh, yeah, and the kid. Okay, this movie was made in what, 2005?
Yeah, 2005.
This movie is like the most 2005 thing ever in it. It has those kids, the sandwich shop kids are playing the circle game.
Oh my God, I haven't heard about that game in years.
Since what, 2005?
Pretty much. I mean, 14 years goes by. You don't see people doing that much anymore.
Yep.
So, yeah, he does the circle game. He tries to get her to look. She don't look. She says, "You'll never get me to look." Like, I don't even remember what the game was all about.
Yeah, well, it was you make a circle, and if they look at it, you get to punch them.
Yeah, she punches him anyway.
Wait, at the end?
Well, she punches him there in the shop, too.
Okay. Well, I guess it's that if you get them to look, you get to punch them, and if they catch you and don't look, then they get to punch you.
Mm-hmm.
That, or maybe she's just a punchy girl.
Yeah. On the way back to his house, she's giving him a lift home because apparently he doesn't have a car of his own.
No.
And he lives with his grandpa, so I don't think they can afford a hell of a lot.
Probably not if he's on a fixed income and the town hates him, so he's probably not getting any help. And also, he's an inventor, and Lord knows that doesn't make much money.
Ooh, no. Some of his inventions are okay. Some of his inventions are real crackpot ideas.
Which of his inventions are okay?
I mean, that Nutcracker one wasn't terrible.
It wasn't practical. That page-turning thing would have been practical for a segment of the population.
Yeah, that if he had patented that, that's a hard word to say.
Yes.
If he had done that, he probably would have made some money on that.
Probably.
But anyway, yeah. They go back to his house and they're listening to this Christmas rap stuff that sounds kind of awful, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, Christmas music is like a mixed bag for me because I do enjoy a little bit of it.
Uh-huh.
But, you listen to it over and over. Eventually, it does get annoying to hear the same songs over and over. But this particular song, I didn't care for. I don't even remember what it was.
I don't know.
I just thought it sounded tacky.
Because it was tacky.
Yeah. Okay, then. They're very obviously into each other, Nicholas and Mary here.
Yeah, I think they're dating.
Yeah, you kind of wonder if they are dating because they seem like they're more friends than more dating. Because sometimes relationships are like that though, where they seem like they're kind of more friendly toward each other than meets the eye.
Yeah, I kind of assumed when I saw them together that it was going to be like the trope where he likes her and she either doesn't know or isn't into him, but he's like pining away.
Yeah, but they're very obviously They're very obviously into each other at the very least.
Yeah, they're into each other. They make references to their relationship and who needs to make the first moves. And the grandpa obviously knows her and he knows her dad and she knows where his house is.
Yeah.
So they obviously hang out.
Yeah, so I gotta say, it's kind of a refreshing change of pace that they're not going with like the average trope here.
Yeah.
It's nice that they're just going ahead and saying, yeah, they're in a relationship. It's just maybe a little bit awkward for them.
Yeah. Also, yeah, they're watching a movie together at one point and they're sitting very close together. So
yeah, so it's pretty obvious that they're going out here. But anyway, let's move on and talk about how Joseph mentions wishing for a Castle Grayskull and an Optimus Prime when he was young. Yeah, here's the thing about this. I mean, it's implied that these two are high schoolers, I think.
Yeah.
All right.
About 16.
Yeah, it's implied that they're about that age. But here's the thing. Back in like 2005, if you're 16 years old Castle Grayskull and Optimus Prime were like an early 80s thing.
Yeah.
So they would have been over 20 years old by the time this movie would have came out if he had wanted like an Optimus Prime or some shit.
Yeah.
So Optimus Prime and Castle Grayskull are way beyond his generation.
Yeah.
He would have been more into he probably would have been more like into the stuff you were in.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I think I was 16 in 2005.
Yeah, so what was hot around when you were a kid?
When I was a kid,
yeah,
I liked Sonic the Hedgehog. I liked Sailor Moon. Oh shit! What else did I like? I don't know, like Legos and like Lincoln Logs and shit.
Yeah, I mean, there was all kinds of stuff. I mean, there was like,
I had a lot of Barbies.
Yeah.
And the one thing that he does mention getting, although they use the actual names for Optimus Prime and Castle Grayskull, but then he says he got a mini bake oven instead of saying easy bake oven. And I had an easy bake oven, and I loved that thing.
You know, he probably would have been more into like Power Rangers and shit.
Yeah, I hated the Power Rangers.
I just mean as like...
The Ninja Turtles were a thing, too. And I also was not a fan of them.
Yeah, as a boy, he probably would have been more into Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers and stuff. Mm-hmm. Not Optimus Prime and...
Yeah.
Even wrestling toys he might have been into, because wrestling toys were kind of a thing during that time period, too.
Yeah, they were. Ooh, remember Stretch Armstrong?
Yeah, I remember Stretch Armstrong.
That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool, too.
Yeah. I had an easy bake oven, and then my brother had, like... I guess the boy version of like that type of contraption where instead of like baking baked goods, you could make like little like rubber creepy crawlies. You like had the little like molds for them, and then you had to pour in the liquid and you baked it and it came out, and you could, pick the colors and stuff like made little creepy crawlies.
You know what else was real hot at the time too were like superhero toys. Mm-hmm. Those were real big among the boys too. Mm-hmm. Like X-Men and Batman the animated series and Spider-Man, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. That was coming out at the time, and it was real popular.
Mm-hmm. My brother was never really into those.
Well, I mean, not everybody was. Every kid is different.
Yeah, he was more into like the building stuff. He had like Kinects and stuff. He would make real elaborate Kinects things.
Also, Star Wars toys were making a real comeback at that time too, so he would have been into that probably too. Mm-hmm. Like, it was the weirdest thing. Star Wars just made a big comeback in the 90s. Yeah.
Well, because our parents were showing us those movies.
Yeah, and they were starting to reissue the movies again. And the Star Wars has this universal appeal where it never seems to stop being popular. Mm-hmm. And everyone was gearing up for the release of The Phantom Menace. And because I guess we must have caught wind of it a couple of years prior to its release.
Yeah, they used to show the commercials for things way before things came out.
Yeah, it was nuts. Mm-hmm. So there's all kinds of toys that he would have been into, just not Optimus Prime or Castle Grayskull, because He-Man and Transformers were an early 80s thing, and he wouldn't have been born in the early 80s.
Yeah.
He would not have been born in the early 80s, let alone at some point in the 70s where he would have needed to be born to have been interested in those things.
Yeah, and on top of that, he's being raised by his grandpa, not his parents, so his grandpa wouldn't have been of the age where he'd be passing on those interests to his kid.
Yeah. So you gotta wonder, where would he even be getting those ideas? He just wouldn't.
I don't know.
Yep. Anyway, that's enough of an aside for that one. That's just something I wanted to bring up. So when he gets home and there's 4 locks on the door, like, yeah, this is uncanny. It was like a real paranoia vibe about the place, which I guess is what they really want to portray with Grandpa. Yeah,
it reminded me of Jamie Lee Curtis in that most recent Halloween remake, not remake, but like sequel.
Yeah, but the difference is, well, they're both justified, but Jamie Lee Curtis, like, she had every reason to put all those locks on her door.
Yeah.
Because Michael Myers was a nightmare. And boy, when he came back, she was prepared.
Oh, yeah.
She did not take any shit from him.
No. She was ready to kick some ass. She was prepared that time. She wasn't going to be caught with her titties out running around this time.
Nope. She fucked him up.
Yup.
Her whole family did.
Yup. So it was like that.
Yeah, it was awesome. Anyway, yeah, it was just like that. 4 locks, and the keys are hidden on the porch in various places. I think one was even like in like a lighter or something behind the clock, and one was hidden underneath a mat. Yeah, it's just crazy, man.
Yeah, which makes no sense. Why he's old enough to just give him a key? Why don't you just give him a key?
Yeah, why is he gotta go hunting around the porch? Just give him like a keychain, dude.
Right.
So, yeah, he does that, and then you go inside, there's an alarm system even.
Yes.
Like, Grandpa really does not want people coming in.
He does not. He is not okay with visitors.
Yeah, so, we meet Grandpa after Nicholas goes down to the basement because the lights are out.
Yes.
And he's
calling out for his grandpa, and his grandpa's not answering.
Yeah, he's looking around for the fuse box, and he gets there and turns it on. And Grandpa's right behind him and scares him, and then Grandpa drops the box of light bulbs.
Yes.
And we finally meet Grandpa, and he's played by Robert Culp, who is a pretty famous actor, actually. He's been in all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I've seen him in stuff.
Yeah, he played the dad of Raymond's wife on Everybody Loves Raymond. I'm pretty sure that he was in Bob, Carol, Ted, and Alice. He played Bob Sanders in that. I mean, this guy's filmography.
Oh, he was in The Outer Limits.
Yeah, his filmography is vast. This guy's been in so much stuff. He was
Murder, She Wrote, Golden Girls.
He even made an appearance on The Nanny with Fran Drescher. Yeah, this guy's been around forever, and he's been in tons of stuff. So this isn't just some nobody they got for this part. This is a real notable catch. So and to be fair, he's great in this role. I love him in this.
Yeah, he was good. He had like a real doctor from Back to the Future sort of vibe.
Oh, didn't he though? He really felt like the Doc Brown type character.
Doc Brown, that's his name.
But I think he had his own thing going on too, and it's kind of a shame that they didn't do more with like the screenplay and didn't have more resources to do more with the movie.
Yeah,
because I feel like they could have really had some resources behind this movie. I think they really could have had some more fun with this character.
Yeah, and then they could have made it more than 70 minutes. If they made it longer than 70 minutes, they should have spent all that time beefing out the grandpa.
Yeah. Grandpa was really interesting. I loved him, and Robert Culp was just nailing it.
Yes.
I mean, despite the bad dialogue that they were giving him, he was making it work.
Yeah.
So we find out that Grandpa is an inventor, like we said. I mean, he invents all kinds of things like brown toilet paper and a nutcracker that fires, well, nuts.
Yes, chestnuts.
And he also invents a page turner and apparently a safe that rises out of the ground he invented.
Yes, on these like crank wheels, just like.
Which, I mean, if he invented that, that's another thing he could have put in a patent for.
Right? Rich people would pay for that.
Yeah, man. He's got all kinds of inventions. Why doesn't he make more money?
They could hide their endangered animal pelts in it.
Jeez.
I mean, they even make reference to Mary's dad having endangered animal pelts on his wall.
Yeah. It's Grandpa. Yeah, Grandpa's great.
Yeah, he's fun.
I got nothing bad to say about Grandpa. I love him. This old codger who hates Christmas.
Yes, he hates Christmas. And he finally tells his grandson why.
Yeah, he says, I would be a little bit careful what I wish for from Santa this year if I were you.
Yes, because he's been keeping track of the time. Oh, also, he handmade a bunker in his basement.
Yeah, he built a bunker to keep them safe from Santa.
It's got like a big, like a bank safe looking like vault door on the front.
Yeah, it's like reinforced steel.
Got like 6 or 7 security cameras inside.
And outside too. Mm-hmm. This place looks almost impenetrable.
Yes.
It's very impressive.
It is.
So, if there's like an aside between the scenes with Nicholas and Grandpa here. Santa is pictured in a cutaway scene here.
Yes.
And he's ringing a bell for some reason.
Like, I think he's supposed to look like one of those Salvation Army bell ringers.
Yeah, I know he's supposed to, but I just don't know why he's doing it. Like, it doesn't
blend in.
Well, he doesn't need to blend in. He can murder everybody. He's got Santa magic. He can blow fire.
I don't know. He's been around for 1,000 years. Maybe he just needs to mix it up to make it fun for him.
Maybe he just wants to have some fun with, just messing with people.
Maybe he needed some cash.
And messing with people he does, because a mugger comes up to him and asks, how much extra cheer you got in that bucket this year?
Yes.
And Santa doesn't really say anything to him. He just immediately takes his arm and twists it around and breaks it. And then like he stabs the guy in the arm in the eye with his own knife.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I thought he did that with the candy cane.
Nah, I think he did, yeah.
Because he was ringing his bell and he was sucking on a candy cane. And you know how when you suck on a candy cane, you can make that real sharp little point?
Yeah.
He took that and he shoved it in the guy's eye.
Yeah, he was sucking on his candy cane while he was ringing a bell. And he sucked it to a sharp point and jammed it in his eye, and then he threw the guy up against the wall. And then he dispatched him by tossing him into a dumpster. Mm-hmm. So that was it was fun. Don't really know what point it served, but it was violent.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I feel like his kills get progressively less violent.
Oddly enough, yeah.
So then we're back to Grandpa, right?
Yeah.
Grandpa talking about how he doesn't see any reason to commercialize Santa.
He hasn't always been the friendly Coca-Cola poster boy that we all know and love. Mm-hmm. He warns Nicholas as he gets the book of claws from the safe on the floor.
Oh, no, wait, we can't skip this. Because the kid is like, are you finally going to tell me why you hate Christmas and like why Santa doesn't need to be portrayed this way? He's like, fine, I'll show you. He's leading him upstairs and then Grandpa says, sorry.
Oh, yeah. You wonder why he says sorry for a second, and then you get the message pretty clear when Nicholas goes, oh!
Yeah. Because obviously when there's two dudes living together, you can't not have fart jokes.
I mean, that's just the bread and butter of being men.
Yep. He's like, I told you I was sorry.
That's what men do. We fart.
So apparently Grandpa just let out a raw bit of ass juice.
Yeah, we fart. We make each other smell. That's what men do. Just guys messing around.
Foul.
Yep.
Foul.
So he gets the book of claws from the safe on the floor.
Yes.
And
also the kid's looking in the safe and he pulls out they look like little like Air Force wings, and they say for a lifetime of service. And he's like, oh, Grandpa, I never knew you were in the military. And the grandpa just kind of ominously says, I wasn't.
And yeah, you kind of wonder, well, what the hell do you mean? What was he got this little pin for if he wasn't in the military?
Yeah, and then you find out towards the end.
Yeah, it looks like this. It looks like a couple of angel wings.
Yeah, they look like pilot wings, I thought.
Yeah, well, they just look like wings.
Yeah.
So he gets the book of claws from the safe in the floor and puts it on his page turner device, which just reaches toward the other end of the book and pulls the pages over.
Yes. Which, if you don't have full use of your arms and hands, would actually be really useful. So that's, I think, one of his more marketable inventions.
So, yeah, it's a neat thing to have, but Grandpa has his arms. He's
got his arms and hands, and he clearly has full use of them because he's inventing things and using his hands to build them.
So I don't really know why he's using this invention other than to just show off to his grandson.
Yeah.
But he does, and he reads from the Book of Claws, and it's in Norse.
Oh, yeah. And so Nicholas is, he's like reading it to him. He's reading it in Norse, and Nicholas is like, English, please. And he's like, I don't know why you never want to practice your Norse. You're never going to remember it if you don't practice. So I guess he's been teaching his kid Norse.
Yeah, Nicky has very obviously been learning Norse his entire life. So he can use it and he can speak it very clearly. But he just wants Grandpa to read in English.
Yeah.
Which is very obviously just a plot device for us, the audience.
Yes.
And then when he reads, he compares the Immaculate Conception of Jesus to the Immaculate Conception of Santa Claus, because Jesus was born of a virgin, born of the Virgin Mary. And
yes, begotten by God. And
Santa was born a virgin, begotten by Satan.
Yes.
So Santa in this is Satan's son.
Yes. And he likes to participate in the Dag of Mord, the Day of Slayings.
Yes. But in the 11th century, on the Dag of Mord, an angel challenged Santa to a contest, a curling contest.
Yes. Oh, and the Day of Slayings is on the same day as Christmas because to counteract the Day of Slayings, the pagans would pray to, or maybe not pagans, the pagans or the Christians, whichever, would pray to their god or gods. No, it had to be God. So to protect them with a Mass of Christ, or Mass of Christ, the Christ Mass, which obviously is, bastardized Christmas.
Yeah. So an angel came down in the 11th century and challenged Santa to a curling contest.
Yes.
Yes. We don't really get into the story quite yet because Mary comes and knocks on the door. So they go downstairs. Grandpa opens the door. He welcomes Mary in. She gives him a present of Wolverine meat from her dad.
Yeah. Freshly shot.
And, he opens it and it's like this disgusting plate of just like rotting meat with fur and shit.
Yeah.
And flies flying all over it.
Yes.
That he
looks like roadkill.
Yeah, he looks at it and says, "Oh, it looks delicious."
Yeah.
He's just being nice.
Yep.
And then
she mentions that it was part of his Ammo for Animals club.
Which, okay, I don't know.
Horrifying.
I don't know what that is. I assume they just shoot lots of things.
Yes, they put ammo into the animals.
That's about the extent of it. And then she gives a present to Nicky. She got him a transformer, except that it looks like a gun. So he freaks out when he first gets it and asks her, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Yeah, because she tosses it to him. It's wrapped up. It's a little triangle. He opens it and it's a handgun.
Yeah, I mean, it's you look at it, you wonder, oh my God, it's a wonder it didn't go off in his lap.
Right? What's wrong with you?
Good Lord, Mary, have some sense.
Yeah. And she's like, "Oh, well, you've been saying you've been wanting one of these." And she takes it and folds it up, and it's an Optimus Prime.
Yeah, and it's actually a really nice present. It's very obviously a fake Transformer that they sculpted for the movie, but still, it gets the point across.
Oh, yeah. You can't actually buy Optimus Prime that transforms into a gun instead of a car.
You actually could buy a Transformer that turned into a gun.
Oh, my God, really?
Yep.
That's horrifying.
There used to be one. I don't remember who it was, but I'm 99% sure there was a Transformer that turned into a gun. America. Or rather, Japan.
Oh, it's just awful.
I mean, if I Google it right now, I guarantee you I'm going to find a Transformer gun toy. Transformer gun. I wonder who it even was. I want to say it was Megatron. Which Transformer turns into a gun? Megatron. He turns into a Walther P-38.
Oh my God.
Yep. And if you...
That's awful.
Yep, there it is. Turns into a gun. Boom. Yummy.
Oh. I'm disappointed, world.
Yeah. There are Transformers that turn into guns. Just FYI, everybody.
God.
And Megatron is the one that it was. There it is, man.
I'm very disappointed to learn this.
Yeah. It's nuts. It looks like a legit real gun.
It's got a scope on the top.
Yeah, it's a wonder that this thing was allowed to be sold at the time, but that's just the origin of toys, baby.
It doesn't even have the orange cap on the end.
Yeah, I know, because they didn't used to have orange caps.
Nowadays, black kids would get shot for holding that.
Yeah, they probably would, and that's why they make toy guns the way they do now, so people don't make any mistake.
Ugh.
Or at least that there's fewer mistakes.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's...
So, just a bit of trivia out there. Megatron turns into a gun. So, if she got him a gun transformer, it would probably be Megatron.
I don't like that. I don't want to play in anymore. Can I tap out of this world? God.
We go to the church after this scene, where the preacher is imploring people to give for the sake of the spirit for Christmas. And he's asking the congregation to give bills. Don't give coins.
Yes, give the needy your bills. I'm seeing a lot of coins in that plate.
Give the needy bills.
And that's a guy that I'd seen somewhere too.
Yeah, I think he was on
He was in Rat Race.
I think he was on The Nanny.
Was he?
Not Douglas Smith, but what's his name? The preacher.
Yeah.
Where's the preacher in the credits here? Dave Thomas is his name.
I remember him being in Rat Race, being the guy who was tragically born without a sense of humor.
All right, Dave Thomas. He was in the movie Strange Brew. He was on Second City TV. A Canadian sketch comedy thing, because he's Canadian. All right.
Well, nobody's perfect.
Yeah, he's a really great actor. He's on Second City with Eugene Levy and all those guys. Rick Moranis and.
Oh, he started out as an ad guy.
Yeah, started out as an ad guy. He was on Grace Under Fire for a little while. He was in the movie.
Oh.
He was in the movie Coneheads, so that's pretty cool
I've seen
too.
that too.
Yeah, I liked Coneheads personally. I don't think it was like the best movie ever, but it was entertaining enough. Yeah, he's got like a long filmography. I mean, look at all the stuff he's been in. He's just like Robert Culp. He's been in so much shit.
Okay.
He's on The Simpsons.
Oh, he was on the Red Green Show.
Yep.
Pippi Longstocking.
He's on Arrested Development.
King of the Hill.
Yep.
Brother Bear.
Yep. Look at all that stuff, baby. Jeez. Oh, yeah. He was even in Stripes. With Bill Murray, guys. So, again, he's been on a ton of stuff.
So he's the preacher.
Yeah, he's the preacher. And he's imploring the congregation to give bills. So then he goes to the strip club, of course.
Immediately after, with what is very obviously the collection plate money.
Yeah, obviously. And he goes in like this Hummer that he's driving.
Yes.
He's driving like a very expensive Hummer, which is, just awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, dude.
Parks and Valet.
Parks and Valet. The people there know him. He's been there so much.
Yes.
Says, place is dead tonight.
Yep.
Bouncer tells him you're going to get a lot of attention.
Yep.
And then
nobody'll even know you were here.
Yeah. You weren't even here, Pastor.
Yep, they're the model of discretion.
They absolutely are. Mostly because he greases their palm.
Yes. He left the bouncer a fat tip.
Yes.
Right from the collection plate.
And not too long after that, in fact, immediately after that, Santa pulls up in his sleigh. Which, after he gets out, he gives the keys to the valet.
Yes, to park his bison.
Yes, to park his bison. And you're like, okay, his sleigh has keys, huh?
I guess.
Well, all right. We'll go with that.
I mean, it does have some electricity on it, so I guess you could turn that on and off.
Yeah, I guess so. He goes up to the door, and the bouncer there doesn't want to let him in.
Yeah, he doesn't even give him a chance to grease his palms like he did for the preacher. So I don't know if he just starts turning everybody else away after he goes in there.
Yeah, I get maybe the preacher like throws around enough money that he can just get his own private room or something.
Right? Like Santa's very obviously old enough to go in there, and there's no indication that he doesn't have any money.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he's like, you're not getting in here tonight, buddy.
But yeah, so in response, Santa beats the hell out of this guy and then breaks his neck with a Christmas wreath.
Why not?
Yeah, I mean, that's one way to get into a strip joint, am I right?
Yep. Maybe not the model of discretion that bouncer was, but it'll get you in.
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, Santa's got his own way of doing things. It's perfectly acceptable, am I right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's, inside the strip club, the pastor... what's his name? Pastor Timmons. He tips the strippers and he says, "Looks like something just came down the chimney."
Oh my God! Yeah, he had bad lines.
Yeah, it was. He says that right as he slips a bill into this girl's
garter.
Yeah, into her garter.
And then he turns to the stripper behind her and was like, so as I was saying about, what was he talking about? Like this season of giving or something like that.
Yeah, season of giving and trying to save souls and whatnot.
Yeah.
Doing his usual preacher shtick.
Yep.
Right then, Santa bursts through the door. And as he comes in, he kisses one of the strippers because, of course, they're underneath the mistletoe.
Yes.
And as Bill Murray will tell you, it is a law.
Yeah.
A federal law, no less.
She was looking kind of pissed about it. Then he shrugs and points up at the mistletoe like, I had to do it. And then she just kind of lets it go.
Yeah, He just shrugs and says, well, Bill Murray says it's a federal law. I mean, it's federal law.
Yep.
Well, Bill Murray says goes.
Well, yes, because Santa is obviously following all the other federal laws in this movie.
I mean, you gotta follow the good ones.
Oh my God.
In Scrooge, Bill Murray makes this improvised joke that kissing underneath the mistletoe is a federal law. Just FYI, everybody. Which Astrid does not like. Yeah. Shut up. Bill Murray's a god. It's one of the founding fathers of comedy along with Dan Aykroyd. Yeah. So, after he kisses that girl, it doesn't sit well with the bouncers, so they decide they wanted to get him out of that joint. And Santa doesn't appreciate that too much, so he goes about just killing everybody in the building.
Right, and the first couple he's doing, wrestling moves on.
Yeah, this is one of these things about having wrestlers in film roles is that they just cannot resist having these guys do wrestling moves on the people they fight.
I mean, it's kind of like having a singer on your movie and not having them sing a little bit. Why?
Yeah, but here's the thing. Wrestlers already know how to, throw punches and shit, and obviously you're going to throw punches in a movie. In an actual fight, are you really going to suplex somebody, man? Are you going to press them over your head?
I mean, are you really going to kill somebody with a Christmas tree star? No. You don't do it because it's practical. You do it because it's cinematic.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even cinematic. It just comes off, really forced. Especially when you're doing, gorilla presses and shit. Here's the thing, in the fight scene between Roddy Piper and Keith David in They Live, that fight scene was a great fight scene. It was actually really realistic. Because Roddy Piper did do, maybe one or two wrestling moves on him.
Uh-huh.
But they were more practical than the ones, you usually see, body slams and all that bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Because what happened was that, Keith David got Roddy Piper in, a headlock, and he was, just punching him in the head and stuff. And Roddy Piper, got a hold of his waist, and then, he suplexed him backward.
Uh-huh.
Now, in real life, a suplex can it can work pretty well.
Okay.
So that's a little bit more realistic than trying to do backbreakers or body slams or gorilla presses and shit. Just a suplex like that, it looks more realistic.
I mean, this movie is not a beacon of realism.
I know.
It has a flying bison in it.
I know. I'm just saying you're trying to suspend a little bit of disbelief, man.
Uh-huh. And that's where you draw the line.
Absolutely. You're drawing the line at just goofy-ass wrestling moves.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to die on that hill. I'm just going to let it slide, really.
Santa will kill you on that hill.
Absolutely he will, which is why I'm just going to say, you know what? Just going to let Santa do what he wants, because he's going to do it anyway.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So these guys, Santa's got some moves, man. He's just moving around like this agile fat bastard with big biceps.
Yep.
And this one guy, he strangles him and cuts his throat with the Christmas lights around the ceiling and stuff.
Yep.
And then Santa gets this stripper pole that he breaks off of its hinges.
He cleans it first. He goes to grab it and rip it off, and then he stops ew. Yeah. And he grabs the spray bottle and the rag, and he wipes it down, and then picks it up to get bodily fluids all over it.
Yeah, and then he starts, just waving it around like it's a martial arts staff.
Yeah.
Before that, he even swung on a trapeze that was attached to the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. And there was still a lady on it, swinging on it.
So his face was right in her crotch as he was going across the room.
Yeah, that was amusing.
That was kind of funny. And then after he gets that stripper pole, he starts, waving around, and he beats one guy with it.
Yep.
And then
one guy's coming at him with a pickaxe, and he hits him with it, so the pickaxe goes back into the guy's forehead.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then this guy, he backs in the corner, and then after that, he throws the stripper pole to the guy and kicks the pole up into a light on the ceiling.
So that it electrocutes him to death.
So I have to say I was not expecting either of those deaths to happen the way they did. I was expecting him to impale a guy or two.
Yeah.
On the stripper pole, but nope, that's not the way it happened. It was actually a little bit more inventive than that.
Yes. And, like, based on the fact that he was only killing the bouncers in here, I thought maybe he was going to leave the strippers alone.
But
like, he values women if they're showing their bodies. But no, after he's killed all the men, then he looks back at the strippers who are going to hide in a corner.
And he says, naughty.
And he pulls out a piece of coal. Yeah,
and he breathes like fire into it so it makes it real hot. And then he tosses it on the ground. The whole place engulfs in flames.
Yes.
Just so they
died horrifically.
So yeah. He Santa apparently is not discriminating this Christmas.
No.
Which good for him being an equal opportunity killer.
I guess.
I mean, he's a progressive murderer. Gotta hand it to him. Gotta give Santa his due on this one.
Santa is a serial killer SJW.
He's a serial killer with ethics.
Yup.
Oh, that makes sense, right?
It does not.
Back at the house, Mary and Nicholas and Grandpa are all watching TV. Grandpa decides, you know what, I'm tired. And he gives his grandson a little bit of room to schmooze with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And Nick and Mary are just hanging out alone. And it comes out that she thinks his grandpa's a little weird. And to be fair, his grandpa is pretty weird.
Yes, but as Nicholas points out, she really doesn't have any room to talk.
Because her dad is like a real gun nut.
Yeah.
He's a member of all these organizations. He's got all these kills and everything.
Yeah.
So maybe criticizing his grandpa isn't the place to go.
Yeah, because he takes it real personally. And as soon as she's like, your grandpa's a little out there, he comes back with all these things about her dad. Like, at least my grandpa's not a member of the Gun of the Month Club.
Yeah.
At least he doesn't have endangered species hanging off his wall.
And she gets real pissed about it, too, because
he's just laying into the guy.
Yeah. It would have been like one thing if he brought up like a couple of things.
But he just kept going.
Yeah. And he might have had a point, but still it's probably not the hill he wants to die on here.
Probably not.
Okay. Yeah. He could have just said, well, both of our parents are kind of crazy. Let's just, why don't we just let it go?
Yeah. We're both being raised by
weirdos.
Eccentrics. Yes.
And, she gets pissed because he keeps on going, and she has some kind of comeback that I remember that really didn't hit as hard as she thought it did.
Oh, yeah. It was something like, you have my number. Call me when you're ready for a mature relationship. Something like that.
Yeah. And
Doug storms out, goes home.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about it.
Just kind of fell flat, and it was not the comeback she thought it was.
Yeah, it wasn't it wasn't even like it was a real insult or anything.
Yeah, that was just a longer way of saying I'm still into you. When you're back into me, tell me.
When you get your stuff together, let me know.
Yeah.
Bye.
Just sounds a little desperate.
And to be fair, I don't think, I'm not sure. I don't know. They seem like they're okay for each other, all things considered.
Yeah, they get along.
I don't think that they're terrible for each other or anything like that.
No. I think they're just both close to their guardians.
Yeah, pretty much. It makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Grandpa upstairs is working on his nutcracker. The one that fires chestnuts, of course.
Yes.
And when Nick goes up there, he goes back to the Book of Claws and reads it. And, well, we find out pretty quickly that he can read Norse very easily without any problems whatsoever, because I guess it's like his second language.
Yes.
Turns out he's bilingual, which is cool.
Yes.
And, it goes to an animation of what he's reading then, where it shows us this claymation of the angel challenging Santa to the curling contest. And the animation is not good. The claymation is very choppy, we'll say.
Yeah, I think that might have been intentional.
I don't know if it was or not. It didn't feel intentional. Like, it had this kind of cute look about it with all the claymation characters.
Uh-huh.
But it felt really jerky, and it felt like they didn't spend a lot of time on it, like they were just trying to plow through it.
Yeah, I just thought it felt out of place because I don't think they do claymation anywhere else in the movie.
They don't. It just happened to be there. But they do it, and it shows, like, what happens is, like, Santa and the angel in the curling contest. The angel or Santa throws his curl first and gets his curl as far to the hole in the ice as it possibly can go.
Yes.
And the angel throws his curl, and then it goes as far as it possibly can, but then it knocks Santa's into the water.
Yes. And their bet wasn't even like a good fair wager. If Santa lost, he would have to stop slaying people for 1,000 years. But if the angel lost, he would get tortured in hell for all of eternity.
Yeah, it was a really imbalanced wager. Why wouldn't this angel like take a more balanced wager? It's not even a compromise. It's like he's getting the short end of the stick on this one. Well, yeah, very obviously so.
Why wouldn't it be eternity for eternity?
Oh, I get eternity and you get 1,000 years. Well, of course, that's the same.
Right? Compared to eternity, 1,000 years is the blink of an eye.
Are you shitting me? Come on, dude. What kind of angel are you half-assing it like that?
Right?
Well, anyway, Angel wins, and, funny thing, like, there's this dolphin like hiding beneath ice as the curl goes in.
Why not?
And it just like waves up into the up into the screen.
Yeah.
Like someone's got a stick and they're just waving it around. It looks real goofy. Like whoever made this just had a case of the fuck arounds, very obviously.
Yeah, I think maybe they had just watched Pengu.
Yeah. After this lovely little animation sequence, Nicholas goes onto a bastardization of Yahoo called Hoo-yah!
Oh, yeah, and it made that noise, too. It went, Hoo-yah!
Yeah, you sons of bitches.
And so he's looking up to try and see if he can see what's up with Santa. He goes, like, you know how they've got the Santa tracker, like, for kids to be like, oh, he's over here. Oh, he's over here. Like, he's traveling. Here's how he travels the world. Will he make it?
Yeah, so he looks on the Santa tracker and then he goes into the chat room to ask about Santa.
Yeah,
and like I think he goes into this porn chat room unwittingly because it asks how old he is.
Yes, and also the guy's name, the chat that he's chatting with is Gonad.
Yeah, which is another little tip that might make us think, well, maybe this isn't like a child's website. This might be an adult place.
Might be.
Yeah.
That or he was just asking his age because he wanted to know whether or not he should be like, yes, of course it's real.
Yeah, it's like, I figured initially when I first saw this that he's just asking him how old he is because he doesn't want to spoil the child's disbelief. But then you see the name Gonad.
And you're like,
this might be porn.
Yeah.
So I'm not totally sure one way or the other, but I'm leaning toward it's probably a porn site that he went to.
Yeah, honestly, me too. So we asked him, like, is this Santa tracker thing real? And the guy's like, how old are you? He says 16. And he goes, no, Santa's not real either.
Sorry your parents never had that conversation with you.
Right? Just like mean.
Like he just tore him a new asshole. And of course, Nicky's just rolling his eyes like, God damn it.
Yeah, my grandpa's crazy. Time to go to bed.
I don't know that he thinks his grandpa's crazy. I just think he's frustrated.
He said that. Like, oh, yeah. Like, he looked at his grandpa's picture on the wall like, you're just, nuts or you're just out there sort of thing.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, I think you're right.
Like, he might not actually think he's crazy, but I think he was mad at him there for making him feel foolish.
Well, yeah, absolutely. So he goes to bed, and then, of course, the next day, it's Christmas. And guess what happens? Santa comes bursting through a nativity scene, and he lops off one of the wise men's head.
I thought that was Jesus.
It was Jesus. It wasn't Jesus. Jesus is a fucking baby on Christmas.
That's a good point.
Are you kidding me? It's probably Joseph.
Yeah, it's probably Joseph.
So it's one of the wise men or Joseph, I don't know. But he lops its head off and it goes flying toward this old couple.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Right.
It's totally unnecessary. Like, why is he chopping off? Why is he chopping off the head of this of this dummy over here?
Right? Yeah, I thought the whole point of the slayings was to kill real people.
But Santa's just fooling around.
Yep.
I think he just wanted to scare these old people by Kool-Aid Manning again through a nativity scene.
Yeah. Santa just has a case of the fuck around.
It was awesome. We get a shot of this family at Christmas, and it's just totally random, this scene.
You see the old lady from the beginning. It was her grandkids and her kids.
The old lady from the beginning?
Sandwich shop lady.
She's not, you don't see her. She's dead.
I think it was, I thought it was her family, because those kids were foul-mouthed, too.
That old lady's dead. This is a totally different woman.
You're right. Huh. I don't know, then.
And, it's got this youngish mother with these kids who come in the room and, they're just swearing up a storm.
Yeah, can we open our fucking presents?
Yeah, I can't wait to see the shit we got for Christmas.
Right.
And, Grandma's looking around horrified at what she saw, but Grandpa's just smiling like, hey, open up your presents to see what Santa brought you.
Right.
And then they open up their presents and they explode and their heads are just blown off.
Yeah, that was gross.
Oh, it was awesome.
Awesome is one word for it.
Yeah.
Gross is another.
And then Grandma looks around and says, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a great scene. I kind of wanted to know more about what Santa had been doing to everybody.
Right.
Did he just go around leaving death traps at everybody's house?
I don't know.
Was this Nightmare Before Christmas type shit where he's leaving all these awful presents everywhere?
Yeah.
Because I would love to see more of that.
You do later on when he's at the police station, you see one of the cops walking by with a ticking present box. So you definitely get the impression that he did that to more than one family.
So I really wish they had filmed more scenes like this, where just to show Santa's handiwork on now that the 1,000 years is up.
Yes, that he's doing some delayed gratification kills.
Yeah. I'm just disappointed they didn't do more with this. We got this one scene. It feels like I'm a little cheated on the present front.
Soulkeeper wants to see more kids get their heads blown off.
Oh yeah, more boom booms. Woo!
Boom, boom in the Christmas room.
Yeah. Well, anyway, at the church, the pastor is grieving for the Gold Diggers Club while referring to all the strippers as lost women and stuff. And he's having this low-key funeral for them by listing their names and all the people who burned in the fire.
Yeah, but not their real names. He lists their stage names.
Yeah, what? Are there relatives at this place?
I don't think so. I think he's genuinely grieving.
Yeah. I mean,
but he wants to act like he doesn't know them personally.
His number one hangout just got burned to the ground, so I guess, he's a little grieved.
Yeah.
What's he going to do with all of his dollar bills now?
I don't know. He's going to have to go over to the next town to spend them.
Oh, man.
One preacher can only drink so much booze.
What is a pastor?
Or he wants some titties to go with them.
What is a pastor without his strip club?
I don't know. A lost and forlorn man.
Oh, God. Shepherd, bring me my flock. After that, we get a shot of the deli where Mr. Green is, working on Christmas Day because, he's Jewish. He doesn't really celebrate Christmas.
Yeah.
So he's, cutting meat and preparing for the next day's work and everything. And Santa comes banging on the door and and Mr. Green shouts at him that they're closed.
Yeah, we're closed. It's Christmas.
Yeah, and he tells him that the place across the road, the Thai place, is open. Go there if you're hungry.
Yep.
But Santa won't relent. And Mr. Green is starting to get a little pissed off.
Yes.
So
Santa breaks the glass.
yeah, and invites himself in.
He flips the store sign from closed to open.
Yeah.
Like he reaches his hand in through the hole that he punched in the glass and flips the sign and then lets himself in.
Yeah, he's defiantly saying, "We're not closed anymore."
Yep.
And Mr. Green is acting kind of tough as Santa Claus comes in, but not for long because Santa Claus does, something pretty unexpected here. He gets a running start and bursts through the counter, crashes through, and tackles Mr. Green.
Yeah.
And just thuds him against the wall. Oof. And obviously, Mr. Green is pretty stunned after this. I mean, the guy just crashed through his counter and just knocked the shit out of him.
He had told him, "You come to the wrong deli, fatso." That's what he said.
And it turns out he came to the right deli because Mr. Green didn't stand a chance.
He did not.
Yeah. So Mr. Green, he's dazed, but he gets up and he tries to shine his Star of David at Santa. Which, I don't know why. It's not like he's a vampire or any shit like that.
No, but he does seem a little annoyed by it.
Yeah, because it's shining light in his eye.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
So Santa pins him up against the wall and takes the menorah off the countertop and impales him through the throat with it.
Yup, sticks him up onto the wall with it.
Yeah, it is terrible. Wow.
It is.
Mr. Green did not deserve that.
He really didn't. He was such a nice guy.
Oof. Poor Mr. Green.
Yep.
It's like one of the deaths I grieve for most in this film.
Oh, yeah. Right under Fran Drescher. For me, at least.
Yeah. Well, I don't have anything against Fran Drescher. I mean, she didn't deserve that. That was horrible.
Yeah.
So, Nick is at the gas station. He wants to get some gum, and we see Tiny Lister from No Holds Barred.
Yes.
Bad movie alumni here, guys.
Yes.
He's working the counter at this gas station. And Nick wants to buy some gum, but Tiny tells him that the guy who was delivering the gum didn't come because he got killed at the strip club the other night.
Yeah, so he never made his delivery.
Yeah, so this is all we got. And he gives him a pack of nicotine gum.
Yes, so it was called smoking gum.
Yeah.
And Nick was like, "I've never seen you around here before." And he's like, "I just moved here." And then they get,
Yeah, and he says,
a little bit stereotypical with it.
He says there's too much shit in the hood.
Yep. He's listening to a police scanner.
Yeah, he's got a police scanner, so he hears about everything that happens. And he heard about the strip club murder last night.
Yep.
And then on the police scanner, as he's buying the gum, he hears about the police report over at the Heaven Sent Deli.
Yes.
So Nicholas hauls ass out of there and leaves the guy with a $5 bill for his $2.50 gum.
Yes, which for some reason they make the gas station attendant look pretty excited about.
It's only like double $2.50. It's $5, man.
Yep.
Like what? Just because he's from the hood, he's going to get excited over $5,
right?
Or an extra $2.50.
It's $2.50 in 2005, not 1805.
Right. So it was a little weird that he was getting so excited about that, but whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Nicholas runs over to the deli pretty quickly, so this must be like a really small town, man. Everything must be really close together.
Yeah, I get the impression that it's a very small town.
And, at the deli, Mr. Green, turns out, is still alive. Nicholas is trying to pull the menorah out of his neck.
Yeah, which is not what you do if somebody's actually been impaled with something.
Yeah.
You leave it there and you get them to the hospital.
Yeah, Mr. Green, he stirs, and it turns out he's still alive momentarily.
Yeah, that was horrifying. I felt bad for him about that.
Poor Mr. Green. He's choking, and he says, Nicholas, there is a Santa Claus.
Yeah, why'd that have to be his line?
That's his last words. He dies immediately after that.
Santa Claus is a murderer. Just, there is a Santa Claus.
Of all the famous last words for this guy to have, it had to be, there is a Santa Claus. What the fuck, dude?
Yep.
Mr. Green got the shaft.
Yep.
Poor Mr. Green. Well, the cops arrive not too long after that, and then they start making a bunch of Jewish jokes, which is awesome. Yeah. They make like 3 of them in a row.
Yeah.
It's kind of terrible, dude. Like the first one they make, the taller cop says, "Looks like someone punched out Mr. Green's Festival of Lights." And then a little later he says, "Something just isn't kosher here." And there's a group of Orthodox Jews outside the deli, and the tall cop tells his partner, "Potts, go grab that Amish group out there too, because I guess he's never seen an Orthodox Jew his entire life."
Yeah.
Whatever, man.
Yeah. So they take him all to the police station.
Yeah, he takes him to the police station, and
when he sees like the chief or whoever it is, they're the guy's dressed like Santa. He's holding his nightstick, and he's like,
yeah, why the fuck is he dressed like Santa? He's like wearing this pink shirt, and he's got this Santa beard on that he's not even wearing over his whole face.
Yeah, like you're supposed to be a professional right now.
Yeah, and this is like the most unprofessional look you could possibly don for a police chief.
Yep. And the extra weird thing was he was like, so they say somebody was dressed like Santa Claus leaving the deli as you were coming in. Know anything about that? And it's like, you're saying that while you're dressed like Santa.
You fit the description, Chief or Captain. Yep. So, obviously, Captain didn't do it, but he's the only one who fits the description, so I don't know, man.
Yeah, it was, suspicious.
At the very least. Well, anyway, the captain's got nothing on Nick other than, his fingerprints on the menorah.
Yeah, that was suspicious.
Yeah.
But this kid doesn't really have any motivation to kill that guy. And also, he's a child. And he wasn't dressed like Santa. And he didn't have any blood on him.
Nick tells the captain about Santa being on a killing spree. And then he informs, because Nick recalls everything from the Book of Claws, of course.
Yes.
And then he tells the captain about all the various time zones, and the captain gets real pissed because he says to him, "I know how to tell time."
Yeah. And then he got like hostile about his grandpa. He's like, "Oh no, you're just as nutty as your old, your old grandpa."
Like the whole town has got it in for this kid's Grandpa Yulson.
Yeah. Like to the point where you just feel bad for him.
Yeah. Outside, after the captain tells Nick to get the hell out of there, the cops are out there looking at the kill board, and they note that the killings have been taking place in the shape of a Christmas tree.
Yeah, and they're musing whether or not the next kill will be the star on top of the tree.
Ooh. I mean, wouldn't he do the lights first?
You'd think.
That'd be pretty funny. So Nick and Mary, they need to get to Grandpa after Nick leaves the police station. Mary comes to pick him up, of course.
Yes.
And while they're escaping, or not necessarily escaping, but just leaving, Santa tasers the police captain in the dick. Like immediately after this.
Yeah, why not?
He knocks on the door, police captain answers, and there's Santa, picks him up, tasers him in the dick. Cue the music, guys. He goes outside. All the cops are already dead. One's pinned on the kill board with all the Christmas tree pins, pushed into him.
Yep.
Another cop's dead on the floor with a chalk outline around him. Another guy is just sitting in a chair with, acting like he's still eating.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
So yeah, that was fucking something.
that happened.
Yeah. After that, Nick and Mary get pulled over by what's seemingly a cop, but turns out, guys, it's just Santa Claus. Santa Claus drives fast.
Santa Claus stole a cop car.
Yeah, he stole a cop car, and they start to gun it, but he runs toward the car and catches up because Santa Claus is super fucking human.
Yeah, he jumps out. Okay. And Mary, she drives a pickup truck. So Santa jumps onto the bed of the pickup truck.
Yeah, he jumps onto the pickup truck, and they have to do a little bit of, we'll say, car gymnastics to get him to get off of there. what they do is Mary hits the brakes.
Yeah, he says we got to Top Gun it.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know, was there a scene in Top Gun about that?
I don't know. I've never seen Top Gun.
Really?
I've never seen Top Gun.
Well, there's a candidate for the Bad Movie podcast.
Why? That's not a bad movie.
I thought it kind of was.
People say it's good.
I didn't like it at all.
I mean, you don't have to like it for it to be a bad movie or a good movie.
I don't think it was a good movie. Y'all can hate me for that if you want, but...
Well, I've never seen Top Gun, so I don't know what the fuck their references are. I really dislike it when movies make references instead of actually just like doing stuff, man.
Yeah.
To me, references are not funny. You have to construct a situation around your joke.
Yes. Also, it's just another movie that he's unlikely to have seen because of his age.
Yeah. So, he talks about Top Gun. He's probably never seen Top Gun because Top Gun came out in 1986. And if he's a teenager here in 2005, he was born in like 89.
Yes.
And think about the movies that you've seen like prior to your birth date. How many of them have you actually seen? Unless you're a aficionado of like old movies and stuff.
Yeah.
You probably haven't seen it, guys.
Yeah. You've probably seen like one of the Batmans and like Ghostbusters.
Yeah. You've seen like a handful of classics probably.
Yep.
Top Gun, maybe not.
Yeah.
Anyway, she hits the brakes on Santa so he flies forward, and then she hits the gas so he falls back.
Yeah, and they were trying to make him, I guess, fall out of the bed of the pickup truck, but
they were just trying to keep him busy while he was able to get the gun loaded.
Oh, okay, which he doesn't know how to do.
Because he's never really handled a gun.
Yeah, so she's trying to instruct him and getting frustrated because he doesn't know the technical terms. She'll be like, I don't know, whatever, like the technical term for like accessing the barrel is, and he can't do it. And she's like, crack it in half because it's like a long shotgun.
Yeah, break it open.
Yeah.
Why didn't she just speak in plain terms to begin with? I don't know. Maybe she's just dense.
Maybe.
But, obviously, you're going out with this guy, you don't know, you probably know he doesn't know his way around guns that much.
Right.
Speak in plain language.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then, says something else fancy sounding. He's like, what? She's like, put the shells in the hole.
Obviously, the gun is not that hard to operate. Just say, break it open and put the guns in the hole.
Yep.
The end. That's all you needed to say.
Yep.
Well... Anyway, he does get it done because, it's not hard.
Yeah.
As long as you speak in plain language and tell someone what you want them to do.
Yes.
And he gets the gun loaded. He fires at Santa and blows him off the back of the pickup truck. So, well done, guys.
Yeah. So then he's just kind of sitting in the middle of the road. But he doesn't really appear to be hurt because he's sitting up.
Yeah, he's not dead. He's got Santa magic, man.
Yeah.
He's not hurt at all.
He just stops chasing them momentarily. I guess maybe he decides it's time to call his bison.
At worst, he was stunned by a shotgun blast.
Yeah, which is fair. I mean, he's not Superman. He's Santa Claus.
Yeah. So they get home after racing back, and Grandpa wants to know if he was followed by Santa Claus.
Yeah. Because they're in the bunker, and he's like, this is meant to be a shelter, not a, what did he say?
A fortress.
Not a fortress. So, obviously he built it, but Santa can break in if he really wants to, which he does.
Yeah. They have carolers outside that they see in the security cameras, and Grandpa doesn't want them to go out there. He wants them to just leave the carolers, to their own devices.
Yeah, but Mary wants to go out and warn them that they have to go home because Santa's on the loose and he's murdering people.
Which, in hindsight, turned out to be a very stupid decision because guess what happens as soon as they go out to warn them? Santa shows up.
Yes.
And he kills all the carolers.
Yes.
He just mows through them, presses one over his head, drops her on the railing.
Yes, which I assume is another wrestling move.
Yep. Another wrestling move. They run back inside and get back in the bunker. But this time, when the map drops, it gets caught on the door. So when Santa goes down there, he can very clearly see that there's a door behind that map.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it might have tricked him.
Yes. Too bad.
Too bad. Pretty stupid to go back out there after you already had yourself situated.
Yup.
But hey,
They just lose. That's what you get for caroling on Christmas. You just deserve to die.
I mean, Mary's okay, but she doesn't seem very smart in this regard.
No.
Like she is not good under pressure, I can tell.
Yeah, I would agree.
Which is too bad for Nikki and actually for Grandpa too.
Yes, Grandpa really pays the price for that one.
Yes, he does. The shelter does hold up a little bit for not very long, but for a little while, because it takes Santa a while to get through that door.
Yeah, he's like out there for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't take him long to get through, but he pounds on it for maybe a couple of minutes before he, dents it in and is able to pull it off his hinges.
Yeah.
Like, Santa can knock doors right off the hinges very easily.
Yes, he's a big, strong bastard.
Yeah, one kick and it's done.
If he could have gotten his big ass bison through the door, it could have just horned it right off the hinges and chucked it.
He while Santa is doing that, Grandpa has a plan B. So he gets them out through the heater that is a decoy in that shelter.
Yes.
And he leads them to the garage where he shows them these snowmobiles that he has in there. He's got 2 snowmobiles.
Yes.
Fortunately for them. And he allows them to take those snowmobiles and get away.
Yeah, like, go, we're going to ride these to wherever and warn everybody.
Yeah. While he's wishing them goodbye, Santa comes out and...
Because Mary couldn't get her snowmobile started.
Yeah. So she has to hop on the back of Nikki's snowmobile. And Santa and Grandpa start talking shit to each other.
Yes. And you kind of get the impression that they know each other and have met before.
Yes, they very obviously know each other. Grandpa tells him that Santa looks like he's gained a little weight.
Yes.
And Santa says, Mrs. Claus, she's a hell of a cook.
Yes.
And, they shoot the shit for a little while until Santa finally says, enough.
Yes.
And then he whistles for his reindeer, and the reindeer runs through and
reindeer? It's a fucking bison.
He calls it reindeer.
I know he does, but it's not one.
It's not reindeer. He gets mowed over by the bison attached to the sled.
Yes.
Grandpa's just mowed over and dead.
Yes.
Instantly.
And then Santa says, uh-oh, Grandpa got run over by a reindeer.
Oops.
Like, good God.
Well, Nikki gets his snowmobile started, and they haul ass out of there.
Yes.
And Santa pursues them. And while he's chasing them, he's like throwing these presents that he delivered to all these various houses, I assume. They're all bombs.
Yes.
He's just lobbing them like he's King Koopa or something up in his flying device, throwing down bombs on Super Mario.
Yes.
And there are several close calls where he almost hits them.
He does.
But they make it through the woods.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they were going through like an open field, and they're like, we need to get to the woods.
Yeah, and they do. And then they reach the gun club where Mary's dad hangs out.
Yes.
And they blow through that and nearly hit everybody.
Yeah. They were doing those
skeet shooting.
Yeah, okay, where they throw the plates in the air.
It's skeet shooting, yeah. It's a skeet.
Okay.
And after a while, they do escape after running through that shooting range. In the town, the minister, or Pastor Thomas, is doing a whole bunch of... Or not Pastor Thomas, Pastor Timmons, rather. Dave Thomas is Pastor Timmons.
Yeah, he's like directing a bell choir.
Yeah, he's directing a bell choir, and then Santa Claus starts just go through this part of town, too.
Yeah.
And the crowd disperses. Everyone is just going nuts. He catches up with Pastor Timmons, and the bison flings him into the sleigh.
Yes.
And
now they're both dressed like Santa.
And then Santa says to, Pastor Timmons asks Santa, why is he doing this? And then Santa says, I'm just trying to spread a little Yuletide fear. And then he knocks out Pastor Timmons.
Yes.
Because, Santa's just being a mean bastard.
Yes, he is.
This is just it was kind of a fun little scene. I think it just existed so that Bill Goldberg could deliver that pun.
The Yuletide fear.
Yeah.
I feel like he could have delivered that pun in any of the scenes.
Well, absolutely, but I think he just wanted to cause more terror.
Yeah. Yeah, he did.
This little town is just going through the mill this Christmas.
It really is.
Like, Santa has devoted all of his energy to just terrorizing these people specifically. They are the unlucky draw this Christmas.
Yes. I wonder, does he always just pick one town for his day of slaying?
I don't know. I just assumed that he would terrorize everybody on Christmas because he's Santa Claus, but I guess no.
Yeah.
It's unclear. I don't think they really developed the script, the mythos of this at all. Mm-hmm. So we just have to kind of spitball and wonder.
Okay.
Yeah. Mary and Nicholas, they get to the high school. They ride there, and they break into the building. They look for something to crash through the window with, but Nick hurts his hand trying to punch through the window with Mary's sweater.
Yeah.
Which does not work at all because turns out hard glass is hard to punch through.
Yes.
Duh. So he looks for like a trash can or a bike rack to crash through with, but Mary breaks it open. I don't know how she did.
I kind of wonder, oh no, she doesn't have her gun anymore. I was going to say, did she just shoot through it?
No, she broke it with something, but they didn't show what.
Yeah, she only made kind of a little hole. So when he's passing her through it, she's like, you're going to have to push down. And he's looking at her. And then she grabs his hands and puts them on her boobs to push down and says, like, am I going to have to make every first move in this relationship?
Yeah. Like, what? Has he never grabbed her boobs before?
I don't know.
I guess not. Well, he pushes her through and he gets through. And then they're starting to hatch a plan about what they're going to do when Santa catches up with them.
Yeah.
Their grand plan after they break into what looks like a science classroom, that is.
Yeah.
Is to wait over the time until Christmas is over and he's powerless.
Yeah, because he's got his little clock that tells the time everywhere, and they're theorizing that
after Christmas Day is over, he won't have any more powers.
Yes, and that the North Pole operates on the same time as Greenwich.
Yeah.
So based on that, they're like, after 7 o'clock their time, Christmas will be over.
Yeah, at least that's what they think.
Yes.
Things don't quite go the way they planned later, but we'll get to it.
Yeah.
Santa, on the other hand, he lands the building and enters through the incinerator because he's got Santa magic.
Yes, and I guess the incinerator is a little bit like a chimney.
Yes, absolutely. So he just enters at will because he's fucking Santa Claus. He's got those powers, man.
Yeah.
It's no big deal for him to go anywhere he wants.
A quiet B&E is kind of his trademark.
Yeah, so no surprise when he shows up and says, "Who's your daddy? Father Christmas."
Yeah.
Yeah.
His lines get progressively cornier as the movie goes on.
It's like they just had to shoehorn a little bit more corniness in here. Like, they're just throwing corn cobs at Bill Goldberg and say, lay him in.
Yup.
So Santa lays chase to them, and they are running like hell from him. And when they get past one hallway, just out of the blue, Santa breathes a fireball at them.
Right.
Like he's Bowser.
Yeah, he never does it again. Just the one time. And that seems like one of his more useful tricks. So I don't know why he doesn't bust it out more.
I think this is all the room they had in the budget for him to do this one fireball.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Probably didn't have any more money for him to do another fireball.
I think you might be right.
So they do hide in the library eventually, and Santa sees them very easily through a mirror that's posted in one corner of the room.
Yeah, those like curved lens mirrors.
Yeah, so you can see when people are like stealing shit and stuff.
Yes.
So the staff can keep an eye on people around, just tight corners.
Yes.
So he sees them, and then he's very quiet, and he pulls out a gas grenade. It says, "Not a creature was stirring." He starts uttering lines from the night before Christmas. "Not even a mouse."
Yep.
Then he tosses the gas grenade and it starts to choke them. And then the camera comes back to them after it shows them choking, and he's reading A Christmas Carol. It says, "Christmas can sure scare the dickens out of people."
Right? The bad puns just keep coming.
Like, just so random. He's just reading A Christmas Carol for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
They run, and when they get to the door, Santa Claus lobs the book at Nicholas and hits him in the head with it.
Oh, yeah. And then she makes fun of him for saying it hurt, and it's like, well, yeah, it hurt. You got a whole book thrown at you.
You got a whole book, and it probably hit him with the corner of it.
Right? Yeah, that hurts.
He's just running with her, going, "Oh my god, that really fucking hurt!"
Right?
I mean, yeah, Santa, super strong beast Santa, just threw a book at your head, dude.
Right?
So wonder you're not knocked out from that.
It kind of is.
Oddly enough, this school has an ice rink, right?
Yes. Yeah, what kind of a high school has a whole ice rink?
Apparently one in Hill Township.
I guess.
Well, I guess if any school is going to have an ice rink, it's going to be one in Michigan.
Yeah, I guess.
So, anyway, they go on the ice rink, which turns out to be a grave mistake because Santa catches up and he drives the Zamboni out there.
Right, yeah. So not only does the school have an ice rink, it has its own Zamboni that they keep on the premises.
Holy shit, dude.
How much money does Hell Township have?
I can't imagine it's all that much. So...
Was it donated?
Maybe. Could be.
So he's coming at them with the Zamboni, and they're running, and
trying to run at least. They're slipping.
They're trying to run,
slipping all over the ice.
And Nicholas has a flashlight, so he starts shining the flashlight at Santa,
and he shouts, "I'm not."
He says, "I'm Santa Claus, not fucking Dracula." And it's like, but obviously it's working. You shine it right in his eyes, so maybe you should keep doing that.
Yeah, you should probably keep doing it so you can't tell what he's doing.
Yeah.
Duh.
So they get backed up into the wall, and Santa's coming at him with the Zamboni. They got nowhere to go.
Yeah. But right as the Zamboni is about to run them over, Grandpa stops it with a curl.
Yes. A magic curl.
Yeah, he just throws it, and
a glowing curl.
Lodges itself underneath the Zamboni and stops him. And then when the camera shows Grandpa, and he's just glowing.
Yes.
He's got on this crazy plaid shirt. He's dressed for the weather, even though he's an angel, and he doesn't need to have any concern for weather or anything anymore.
Yes, because Grandpa is the angel from the curling contest.
Yep.
And that is apparently why we had a shitty claymation scene earlier in the movie, because they didn't want to show Grandpa's face.
Yep. So that happened.
Yeah.
And Santa gets off his Zamboni, and he reads Nikki's letter out loud.
Yeah, because he was like, "How did you find me so fast?" And he's like, "Well, it wasn't hard.
It was pretty easily." And he reads it. And turns out Nicky wanted a mini bake oven when he was a child.
Yeah.
He even listed his address at the very end because his grandpa was a Scrooge.
Yeah. He's like, I was supposed to come see you at the mall today or whatever, but I didn't because Grandpa got back too late from curling practice.
Oops.
So we never made it. But,
that tipped him off.
Yeah, but what I really want this year is a mini bake oven. Here's my address.
Yeah. So, yeah. Not hard to find him. Even gave him his name, Nicholas Yulson.
Yes.
Oops.
Because apparently the angel already had a last name.
They didn't really get into it, but I think he did. I'm not even sure what the hell this kid's family is like. I mean, who are his parents and all that?
I don't know.
They didn't get into any of it.
I don't know. Yeah, but then you get the impression from that, at least, that the kid was always being raised by the grandpa.
Yeah.
Or at least for as long as he can remember.
Well, at this point, Santa and the grandpa.
Okay, so now I'm wondering, earlier, this might be giving the movie more credit than it deserves, but earlier when he was like, I got an easy bake oven or a mini bake oven instead of an Optimus Prime or what was the other one? Castle Grayskull. So now I'm wondering, did he just get an Optimus Prime and a Castle Grayskull instead of a mini bake oven? Was it the other way around, and the grandpa gave him the old toys from his dad or his mom or whatever?
Oh, I don't know. It sounds like that he said he wanted a Castle Grayskull or an Optimus Prime, but he got a mini bake oven instead because that's what he asked Santa for. He's just bullshitting to his girlfriend.
Okay.
Grandpa challenges Santa to a curling contest again.
Yes.
So
time for a rematch.
Yep, time for a rematch. And the rules this time, if Grandpa wins, it's back to Santa for good.
Yes.
And if Santa wins, then it's straight to hell for all eternity for Grandpa. And Santa even opens a hole in the ground straight to hell for Grandpa to go to.
Yeah, doesn't he like stomp the ground and like the big long split happens and then there's the hole at the end?
Yes. See, big crack in the ice leading up to a hole, and it leads straight into the hellfire down below.
Yeah. It seems like at least this time Grandpa had the good sense to ask Santa for his half of the bargain to also be forever.
Right? Duh. So, Grandpa throws his curling iron, and it really goes right to the edge of the hole. As far as you could possibly go without going in.
Oh, also, you can hear the torture coming out of the hole.
Yeah, this hole sounds like, people are being pulled apart and, like, whipped and shit down there.
Yeah.
Like, the screams from the hounds of hell are coming up from this hole. And it is serious business. And whoever did the graphics for this kind of got it.
Yeah.
Because it looked like it was just fiery damnation coming up from that hole.
Yes.
Nothing but bad things down there.
Yes. Looked like the ice was over a volcano.
Looked like your lip.
Hot magma.
It looked like everybody down there, their lips are being stretched over their heads.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Gross.
For real. So Santa throws his curl. And, yeah. Well, he doesn't throw it, actually. He throws Grandpa.
Yeah, his curl is Grandpa. When it's time for him to take his turn, he picks up Grandpa and he curls him into the hole.
Yeah, and Grandpa goes right in. So, looks like it's curtains for Grandpa.
Yep.
He does approach the kids after this. And they try to argue that it's time. Christmas is over.
You're powerless.
You're powerless.
Come back next year.
And Santa laughs and says, this is a common mistake. And
Full time is discretionary to the dweller.
Yes.
Because the North Pole is where all the time zones meet.
Oops.
Yep. So he's like, I've got as long as I want.
Christmas is over when I say it's over.
Yep.
So, yeah. They're a little terrified now because he's both educational and scary.
Yes. Which was odd.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Santa, though, Nick still has Grandpa's nutcracker. And he fires a chestnut at Santa, and it takes him down.
Yeah, because he hits him in the... Did he hit him in the chest?
Yeah.
And then he says, chestnut.
Oops. Santa had taken off his jacket by now, so you can see all of his muscles and everything.
Yes, he is a Santa with muscles.
Ooh. Yeah, he fires the the chestnut at Santa, takes him down, and since Santa is down, they go over to pull Grandpa out.
Yes. Because Grandpa didn't go all the way in the hole.
Yeah, he's holding on for dear life because he pinned his angel wings, his lapel pin,
yes,
onto the edge of the hole. So that's the only thing keeping him from falling into hell. They pull him out, and Santa escapes.
Yes.
In the meantime. And Grandpa tells them that they have to go after him and take care of Santa because Santa's powerless now.
Yeah, he's bluffing. His time did end. You're fine.
Yeah. So, Santa's left and they go after him, but Grandpa can't follow.
Yeah, he's stopped by like a force field.
Yeah, he's stuck within the confines of this ice rink for some damn reason.
Yeah.
He could just show up out of the blue, but he can't leave the ice rink. Okay.
Yeah, he could leave that far from the spot where he was killed.
Yeah, the angel rules are real arbitrary.
Yep.
Whatever, movie.
And
Whatever.
he's like, don't worry though, I'll be watching you or whatever. And it's like, I guess not if you're stuck in the ice rink.
I mean, if you're gonna do your disappearing act, why don't you just vanish and come back again outside and have some new limitations?
Right?
Duh. I don't know. It doesn't pay to overthink movies like this, but you got this. It feels kind of silly. Like, why can't he leave? Can't follow him? What, does Robert Culp just now participate in the movie anymore? What's going on, guys?
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird.
Okay, Grandpa, whatever you say, dude. I think Grandpa was just tired of following them around. I think he just wanted out of this fucking movie.
I think so, too.
I think he's just tired of dealing with Santa. He's like, well, oh, wow, look at these confines. Can't leave this. Oh, wow, boy.
No.
Boy, it looks like you guys are on your own.
He's just miming it. I can't leave this box, y'all.
Oh, wow. Nick, you see this? I can't do a thing about it. Oh, he's using his, angel magic to make it look like it's glowing. Oh, wow. Do you see that force field? Pay no mind to the energy emanating from my hands.
Yes.
Yeah. Grandpa, you dick.
Right?
It's like the angel version of a fart.
Oh. What would an angel fart smell like? Don't answer that. Moving on.
Cinnamon.
Why?
I don't know. I'm just making it up. Like the movie is. Well, they go to they reach the gun club where all of Mary's dad's friends are hanging out. And they're
trying to lure him back there, I think.
Yeah, they convince the gun club to fire at this flying reindeer.
Yeah, well, they convinced him, how would you like to, be a legend and mount a flying, buffalo or whatever on your wall?
And somehow they don't think the kids are crazy, utterly.
Yeah, they're just like, ooh, yeah, I'd love that. I'd be a legend. It'd be like catching a really big fish.
Hey, that sounds great to me. So they're really into it, of course.
Yep.
And, they do look through their scopes and they see, hey, wow, they're for real.
Yep.
And because guess what? In the distance, there is the flying bison attached to Santa's sleigh going through the air there.
Yeah, which then they don't seem fazed by it. They're just excited for a new thing to kill.
Oh, yeah, they don't ask questions. They just start firing immediately.
That's a real exotic endangered animal.
They gotta have it on their wall. They don't care what the rules of physics are. They just gotta have it mounted.
I'm gonna hang this up right next to my ivory tusk elephant.
And what's real crazy is, they all miss. They're all terrible shots.
Oh, yeah. Because they're probably all drunk.
Yeah, they probably are.
They're Michigan shooters.
And the one who does hit him is Mary's dad. Because guess what weapon he's brandishing? A bazooka.
And Mary comes up behind him like, Daddy, where did you get that bazooka?
And we find out that his friend, who is a smoker who lost a lung and also his vocal cords,
yes,
bought the bazooka for him with cigarette points.
Yes. His camel points.
Yes. Yes. Thank you, movie. This was perfect. I love it. I eat this shit up. Well, they blew up this sleigh, of course, and then back at the school, we find out the minister, Pastor Timmons, is impaled on the flagpole in his Santa suit.
Yes.
And a medic with a saw shows up.
Oh, wait. First they go, I guess Christmas is over. Santa's stuck on the North Pole.
Oh, well done, coppers.
Yep.
The puns from this movie just do not, they're relentless.
They're just...
Yes. A medic with a saw shows up and says things are about to get messy. And at this point, I'm looking at Astrid saying to her, is he going to cut the fucking body in half?
Right? And I'm like, normally wouldn't they cut the pole?
I mean, you can't just saw through this guy, can you?
Right? Oh.
And apparently you absolutely can.
Yes, because briefly after that, he walks by with a very obviously only half full body bag.
And also, the saw is very bloody.
Yeah, it's super red.
Ooh. And this is while Nick and Mary are sharing their final on-screen kiss together.
Yeah, because isn't it romantic?
Yeah, kissing amid the carnage. Just perfect.
Yep.
And very, very romantic spot and very nice place for this movie to pack it in.
Yep. Nick, you're an orphan again. Now's the time to make out.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell he's going to do. Don't know where he's going to go, but I'm sure he's 16 years old. He'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I wonder if Grandpa will come back in angel form to live with him.
I don't know. Hopefully Grandpa left him the deed to his house. And then maybe Nick would be old enough to have himself emancipated.
By the way, Nick, you got yourself a mortgage.
I mean, Grandpa's been around for apparently 1,000 years. He might own that property outright.
Maybe.
And then he can just pay for property taxes with his sandwich shop money.
Yeah. He'll probably be okay. Maybe. I don't know. Well, we see Santa at the airport not long after that. And he's calling himself Shatan.
Yes.
He's buying a plane ticket straight from Winnipeg to the North Pole.
Yes, because apparently Winnipeg connects to the North Pole.
And also he checks his Santa sack.
Yes, which is leather. Red leather.
Yes.
Because Santa's a badass. He's got like a leather jacket on. It's got the Iron Cross on the back because he's Norse, and the cross has like flames coming off of it.
Totally. And he's got like his beard, rubber banded into like a goatee looking thing.
Yeah, he's like a biker looking dude.
And his hair is pulled back on a ponytail. It looks real tough and everything.
Yep.
He goes back and he sits down after getting his plane ticket, and this is pretty much where the movie ends. Sits down right next to this woman. He's like a whole head taller than she is. He looks huge.
Yep.
Like rattles the entire line of seats when he sits down.
Yep. Because apparently once his magic flying bison is slaughtered, the sleigh's no good anymore, and Santa has no choice but to fly back commercial.
Man, it's going to be a real bitch come this time next year.
Right? Also, I feel bad for whoever's in the seat next to that enormous dude.
Whoa.
I'm not sure he's going to fit in a plane seat.
Oops.
He's
going to have
looks like he's about 7 feet tall.
He's going to spill into the seat next to him once he sits down. Dude.
Right? And he's going to have to duck in the airplane while he's already sitting.
He's going to make the person next to him put the arm up and just cower.
Right? The person in front of him's not going to be able to lean his seat back.
Someone tries to lean their seat back, he's going to threaten them.
Right? Or snap their neck.
Yeah. And, this is the point where the movie just ends at exactly 70 minutes.
Yep.
And the funny part about the credits here is that everybody in the cast and everybody on the crew is either rated nice or naughty.
Yes, they either have a red X or a green Christmas present.
Yeah. It's just a nice little touch. And after the credits, it's not really a big thing, but it shows Santa Claus checking his naughty and nice list, and he looks at the camera and says, "Who's next?" Because that's Bill Goldberg's catchphrase.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, from his wrestling days. This is just a bunch of in jokes and shit to all of his wrestling stuff. So that's the entirety of Santa's Sleigh, everybody. It's a very fun movie, actually. Shockingly so. It's a lot better than it really has any right to be, for one. Still not that great a movie. It's still pretty bad, but it's still a lot of fun. It's 70 minutes. It does not overstay its welcome. And for that, I really like it for that reason. Why don't we go right into our reviews now? Because we culled a few reviews from Amazon, as we usually do. Some 5-star and 1-star reviews. This time, Astrid picked the reviews instead of me. So it's going to be a little bit fun to see what she came up with.
Yeah. All right. So this first one, 5 stars, Jeremy. Probably the best movie of any generation ever, period. He says, probably the best movie of any generation ever, period. It's got the stoic, majestical cinematography of Gone with the Wind, yet still holds the viewer's attention with pinpoint choreographed action-packed adventure that the whole family can enjoy. Bill Goldberg paints his masterpiece in this sure-to-become holiday classic, and the subtle social undertones really make the film a credit to the industry. The only problem I have with the film is that I'm not watching it right now. If they could find a way to make it 6 or 8 hours long, that would be a good start. A true masterpiece and an example of human achievement.
What? Are you shitting me?
Yes.
What movies has this man watched?
Yes.
What did he watch, like 5 movies?
Yes, and apparently one of them is Gone with the Wind.
And the other one is bad. And the other one is like Santa's Sleigh?
Yes.
Where does he live? Like, this is like the most isolated place in the world, and the only place he could watch movies is like this clandestine video shop with 5 tapes?
I guess.
Jesus Christ.
I guess. Yeah. So there's his opinion.
Okay, well, what else we got?
All right. We got Paul E. Barrick, 5 stars. Best movie.
Okay.
Says, this is the best movie of all times. This movie is better than Avatar and all the Godfather movies combined.
Oh my God.
This movie eats It's a Wonderful Life for breakfast.
What?
It's better than The Notebook.
I mean, I'm not going to dispute that one. Most movies are better than The Notebook. But all those other ones, what the hell is he on?
Yup.
What? I don't know how to respond to that. Like,
yeah.
That's the sort of person that when you try to talk to him and reason with them, it's not happening.
Yep.
I'm not sure that person is rational.
Yes.
All right. Well.
All right.
Let's see our last 5-star review. What's the last? Let's see this second opinion, so to speak.
This last one is real short. It's by Nikolov Romanov. 5 stars. Lol, lol, lol. Merry Christmas. It's only one line. It says, great Christmas movie, comma, watch with your kids! Exclamation point.
Don't watch it with your kids.
Do not watch this with your kids. What is wrong with you?
What the hell? Who the hell would watch this with their kids? Is he out of his fucking mind?
There's a whole strip club plot point.
Santa's murdering people the whole movie. Don't watch that with your kids. Especially if you have them, if you do the whole Santa thing with them. You're going to ruin their childhood. You do that shit.
Right?
Watch it with your kid if they're maybe like teenagers or something.
Yeah.
Then it's fun, but dude, what's wrong with you? My God.
Okay.
Well, let's see. Let's have now the dissenting opinions. Let's see what the 1-star reviewers have to say about Santa's Sleigh.
All right. We've got one from Darkness. 1 star. This movie had no point. I don't understand how people gave this movie 5 stars because it deserves 0. The plot was stupid, the movie was boring, and there was hardly any blood and guts shown.
Oh my God.
Only good part of this movie was the beginning scene with the family, which had a few known actors, but other than that, this was a complete waste of time.
Oof.
I regret buying this so much, and if you buy it, you'll regret it too, trust me. There are so many better films you could be watching. If you want a good, scary Christmas movie, watch Black Xmas. Now that was good. Avoid this mess.
Man, that was harsh. I don't know if Black Christmas is much better, but I guess it's a higher quality movie than this one is. It depends which one you're talking about.
Right.
Like the original one, yeah, that's a better movie. The remake, wow, that one was shit.
Yeah. And there were like 100 and something 1 or 5-star reviews. There were only 12 1-star reviews.
Like, people actually like this movie a lot.
Yep.
And to be fair, it has its points, but it's not like it's a masterpiece or anything. It's a piece of shit.
Yep.
And, you gotta know it's a piece of shit. You can't just be looking at this and saying, this is a good movie. No, it's garbage. It's trash. It's fun trash, but it's trash, man.
Yep.
Well, let's hear another dissenting opinion from the crowd.
All right. We've got Grandmother and Loving It, 1 star. For the younger generations, horrible movie for me, comma, 67.
Okay.
This is not grandmother's movie. She says, our son hooted through this movie. I hated it. Crude, rude, sick.
Oh, man. Grandma's a real hit at parties.
She did not like it.
She did not appreciate the swearing granny.
She did not.
Hit a little too close to home, I imagine.
I guess.
Well, you know what I have to say? Merry Christmas and go fuck yourself.
Yep. Pretty much. And our final 1 star is also very short, because a lot of these were. It's from Maggie P. 1 star. And the only thing she says is, I'd really like to give it 0 stars.
Ouch.
That's all she has to say about it.
Well, I mean, I guess she really didn't like Santa's sleigh. Not even worth reviewing properly, huh?
Nope.
Jesus. Ouch.
She just really liked to give it 0 stars.
Well, some people don't like a little fun with their Christmas. Some people just want, some people want the traditional It's a Wonderful Life and nothing else.
Yep.
Now, myself, I like to stray a little bit off the beaten path when it comes to Christmas.
Yeah,
and, have some items that are a bit more fun.
When I was tweeting out my screenshots this time, I had one of my mutuals on Twitter make a comment about how she watches this movie every Christmas with her boyfriend. It is part of their tradition.
Yes, we actually ran into some people who
genuinely enjoy it.
Yeah, this is one of those movies that people actually seem to watch and like at Christmas now.
Yep, I guess it's a classic.
I don't know if I want to call it a classic. It's
classic.
It's more like an ASIC.
That's fair. That's a fair cop.
So, Astrid, that comes to the point. What did you learn from this movie?
Oh.
I learned that reindeer are actually bison.
Oh, yes.
And they are definitely people eaters.
Oh, yeah. Hungry bison. I learned that Santa wears a Viking hat.
I learned that Santa is the kind of guy who will wipe down your pole after you use it.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's very sanitary.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't wipe down those turkey forks, though.
Ooh, well, I mean,
somebody's getting salmonella with their death.
Ooh, not before he chokes on his turkey leg, I'm afraid.
Nope.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh. I learned that you can throw a Christmas tree star like a throwing star.
Oh, yeah. I mean, didn't you know that the star you put up on your tree is actually a deadly weapon?
I did not. We put a bow on top of our tree.
Well, see, you can use a bow as a deadly weapon, too, don't you know?
No, I didn't.
So that's what we learned from this. Christmas decorations are actually deadly.
Oh, yeah.
If you didn't know that, then, you know, the more you know.
Yep.
I learned that Santa can breathe fire like Bowser from Super Mario.
Oh, yeah. It's very useful for combating those chimney flames.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Gotta be able to blow some fire so you can keep the Yuletide season just burning bright.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that Santa's sleigh has a horn for heavy traffic.
I learned that Santa doesn't always fly. In fact, he prefers to ride sparking on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Preferably on a plowed road.
I learned that when Santa's angry, he kills in the shape of a Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it makes perfect sense.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to do it, you might as well keep it holly and jolly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I learned that Santa enjoys a good game of curling.
I learned that Santa is actually terrible at curling.
Well, there might not be any curling in hell because there's no ice.
Well, you know, he gets his practice where he can.
Yeah.
I learned that there's a book of claws. And in fact, that particular book, the Necronomicon of Christmas, is written in Norse.
Yes, you better learn your Norse if you want to be able to read it.
Yeah, especially if you want to defeat Santa.
Yes.
Preferably in a game of curling.
Yes. I learned that preachers love strip clubs, and that if you die in a strip club, the preacher will list you off by name, but only if you're one of the strippers. Because I feel like a lot of bouncers also died that night, and he didn't list off any of their names.
Indeed. He only cared about the strippers.
But also, he'll only list you off by your stage name because he doesn't respect you as a human being.
Indeed. Life lessons from Santa's sleigh, everybody.
Yes.
I hope you appreciate it very much. What would you give this movie? What's your final recommendation?
Honestly, it was fun. I'd give it 2 bison horns up and, I don't know, 1 Christmas tree.
I would give this movie like a thrown up bouncer hat and
Oh, yeah.
and like a table leg to the forehead.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I'd probably give it like a flaming Bowser upchuck too.
Okay.
Just to indicate my pleasure.
I was about to say, I don't know if that's positive or negative review.
You know what? I like this movie.
Yeah, it was fun. I'd watch it again.
It's a stupid movie, and it's kind of shitty. I mean,
there's no getting around that.
The dialogue is just fucking terrible, but
especially Nicholas's.
Yeah,
he has extra awkward dialogue.
Yeah, like they keep giving him dialogue, and he keeps like chiming in. Man, isn't it fucked up? We're being chased by Santa Claus,
right?
Like he says it several times. Like we don't get the message. Yeah, okay, you're being chased by Santa Claus. It's fucked up. We get it. Move on, bro.
Well,
it's not great. The movie is very bad, and as far as bad movie goes, it's like on the entertaining side of bad things. So it's not like super shitty where it's an absolute slog to get through.
Yes, it's no Saving Christmas.
Yeah. So I would say go ahead and watch it. You're probably going to have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, you will. And it doesn't overstay its welcome. It's short.
It's 70 minutes right on the dot.
Yep.
Just like Saving Christmas, but oh so much more fun.
Oh, yeah.
Because it doesn't preach at you and it doesn't fill your head with a bunch of nonsense.
Yes.
I mean, it is not hard to make a movie better than Saving Christmas. Mm-hmm. But these guys did it. With probably less of a budget than these other guys had.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder how big the budget for this was. Didn't really say.
It doesn't?
Nope. Have no idea how much money they spent on this movie, but it doesn't really matter because it's better. And Bill Goldberg is actually kind of a surprise joy in this movie. Like, I wasn't expecting much from Bill Goldberg when I first watched this, but he kind of delivered. He came off pretty threatening. He delivered a whole bunch of puns with gusto. It felt a little bit like Arnold Schwarzenegger in that regard.
Okay.
So I really like that he was able to deliver so many puns with so much enthusiasm. So Bill, you did a pretty bang up job on this one. It's a shit movie, but God, was it fun. Anyway, yeah, guys, go ahead and watch it.
They won't release what they spent on it.
Yeah.
It says, for full financial estimates for this film, including domestic and international box office, video sales, that's how much it made. Video rentals, TV, and ancillary revenue are available through our research services. For more information, please contact us.
Yep. Okay, so they're not going to spill the beans. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's about it for Santa's sleigh this time around. I think that it's about time for us to head out. So.
Oh, this says it had a budget of $4.5 million.
Okay, well, it had a bigger budget than...
I don't know if that's real.
Saving Christmas.
I don't know if this is real.
Considering it had a bunch of name actors, it probably had a bigger budget.
It might have, yeah.
All right, it is time for us to head out now. I will see you later, everybody. Until then, with love from us to you, bye-bye.
Bye.